Welcome everyone to Keto King's Barbecue Banter. This is a Progressive Discussions production. It is a free, open topic, a multi-topic show. Anything goes. There's no censorship. There's no rehearsal. There's no script. Anything can be said. Anything can be seen. Anything can happen. You can talk about anything you want. I'm your host, James P. Madonna, and maybe, I forgot. No, it's the second. I think this is the second show for 2022. Yes, it is the second show. It's January, early January 2022, and I'm here with my hosts. The one and only from the state of Michigan, BC, of BC Beer Reviews, and my political co-host, executive director of politics and screen sharing, the one and only from the state of Washington, Mr. Jason Cleveland is back after a period of absence. How are you, gentlemen?
Hello, folks. Happy New Year.
That's right. Okay. Glad to have you back, Jason, on the show. BC.
It's great to be back. Thank you, James.
Yeah. I guess all the family-oriented events kind of exhausted themselves.
They exhausted the emotion. They exhausted the pocketbook. They exhausted the wealth of this nation. But we are back. We survived the holiday season.
And all you people out there in the United States that spent money that you really don't have and buy things that you really don't need, and because you're all brainwashed by the greedy, lying, sleazy American retail industry. You're made to feel guilty that you have to go out and spend money that you really don't need to do. I mean, personally, I'm in it for the good food and grog. Went to my sister's, ate really good because she's a great cook, and we exchange gifts with the immediate family, and there were things that we all could use. I always get things I need, because I get asked, James, what do you need? What do you really need? I said, you sure you want to ask me what I really need? You can ask me what I need. So I tell them and I get it. And that's it. Hi, Ronnie.
Ronnie
Simpson.
has a new picture.
Yeah, he looks very, very intense. Very intense. Like he's staring laser beam holes into people, or maybe Dracula. Maybe he's got that Bela Lugosi stare. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I sent the link to Ronnie Simpson and to Michael Hilton, who said he wanted to be on. I sent it. Michael, if you're out there, I sent you the link. There's no special guests on this Sunday, this time, no psychic, astrologer, whatever. It's just us guys. And you can talk about anything you want. Now, BC, what is on the menu for yourself today?
Who, me?
Yeah, you cooking anything today?
Yeah, I got something going on today. Yep. I got myself.
You talking to me? Are you
You're
talking to me?
You think I'm funny? What do you mean? Funny? Ha-ha? Am I ha-ha funny? What are you
Are
talking
you
about?
talking to me? Are you talking to me? You must be, because I'm the only one here.
I couldn't resist. It was, hey BC, what are you cooking today? What? Who? Me?
I'm cooking a
Are you
pork chop.
talking to me?
Yeah, no, there's only one BC here.
Oh, I
my
couldn't
goodness
resist.
gracious.
That's
Well,
good stuff.
BC's gonna show us what he's doing. He's wrestling up out there. What kind of fiddles he's wrestling up, and on the barbecue. And I'm gonna get the ball rolling. Ooh, wait a minute.
See that?
We gotta get a bird's eye view. Oh, it's a loin. It's a big one too.
Wow, look at that. It looks like a gorilla penis.
Yeah, it looks like a Sasquatch penis. I don't know. I don't even know if they're hung. I know gorillas are known to have small genitalia for their size. But that's what you got inside. Is that your famous cornbread and mushrooms or whatever and onions?
Yeah, I got mushrooms, onions, and cornbread in it. Pork wine.
Damn, BC.
Are you gonna put hot and spicy dry rub on the outside, or
Yeah,
barbecue?
I already did. That's why it looks red like it did. So
Good. That's good.
Oh.
That's good. Very good.
I
That's
put
a
a
nice.
little bit of oregano in the cornbread. You don't want to put too much because oregano is pretty strong as a herb. So
Yeah, too much oregano will make your food bitter. My
yeah,
grandmother used to say that, like if you're gonna make spaghetti sauce, go easy on the oregano.
yeah.
That's why
Oregano.
That's why I get the mixed Italian herbs. You know, where you have little rosemary, some thyme, some oregano, some basil. But I always put extra basil because that's like the primary ingredient for Italian tomato sauce, and oregano is second to that. But
Okay.
oil of oregano is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, natural antibiotic known. It's so effective that the Purdue Chicken Company has replaced antibiotics with oil of oregano. They give wild oregano to their chickens.
Oh wow.
So, if you want something to knock the cold out of you, get those oregano oil capsules. Now,
James, while you're on that subject, I just want to share the screen. I take one of these every day.
okay.
This is called a wellness shot. I'm not sure if you ever had this before, but it's not the cheapest thing on the planet. They're about $3 a piece, roughly.
Oh,
But you can't put a price tag on your health, as you say.
Elderberry and ginger, two powerful natural cold medicines with oil of oregano. That looks potent.
And it's in like a little shot, and you just down the hatch, and it kind of burns on its way down because it's got all the ginger and everything else in there. But I tell you, I haven't had a cold. Now mind you, we're all in quarantine practically still, right? Because
knock on wood,
pandemic doesn't go away. But
no.
like I haven't had a cold in years, and maybe it's this stuff, right? So I don't want to derail your thought there too much, but you were on a
No, you're not derailing it. I mean, Dr. James Duke, who is a well-known medical anthropologist, said that ginger is one of the most important things you can take for any cold, respiratory infection or gastrointestinal infection. Ginger is a go-to, and you're throwing in elderberry and oil of oregano. That's like three of the best combinations for fighting any cold. Now, there's another very powerful product that they don't talk about much, and it's called colloidal silver. It is they take the trace mineral silver and they provide it in I assume, a chelated form so people can absorb it and utilize it. And silver, excuse me, silver.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Silver kills all the above. Viruses, bacteria. Silver is potent, not just for stopping werewolves. It's a very powerful antiviral and antibacterial substance, and you don't hear much about it because it works really good. Well, it's very effective, and Big Pharma hates when people talk about colloidal silver.
Of course.
They're not too crazy about people pushing oil of wild oregano either.
When you sneezed there, James, it reminded me of a good joke. I have to tell you, a very quick joke. How do you say the word virgin in German?
Well, I know how to say fuck in German. It's called fick or ficken. How do
I'll
you
say it again, right? How do you say virgin in German?
How do you say virgin in German?
Good and tight.
Good and tight. Jawohl, good and tight.
All right, one more, right? One more.
Did
How
you
do you
like
say
that banner I sent you about the secret to a healthy vagina?
Oh, that was great. I sent that to my buddy who frequents the ladies of the night, shall we say, and these back rooms that
the glamour girls in the
yeah
back room?
yeah. So I said, maybe when you're done, when you pay her, you can print this flyer out and hand it to her, right? Maybe she can help further her career a few more years, right?
I think they should frame it in one of those glass pane certificate frames they sell at the dollar store and hang it up in every room there. For the girls to get some inspiration. They probably need. They need to use what do you call that stuff again? Pine sol in their vaginal douche formula.
Oh yes.
Yeah, considering what they do for money.
I dated a girl.
They jerk hard for the money.
They
always
many years ago. There's Ronnie. Yes. Hello, folks.
Hello, folks.
Now, what were you saying, Jason?
No, I was going to say that I dated a girl many years ago, and she was a ballerina. She did a lot of shows and pageants and stuff, and she had to wear these tights all the time, right?
Well, their shoes. I mean, they're athletes. I mean,
for
professional dancers, choreographers, ballerinas. That's a professional athlete in itself.
Absolutely, but she would kind of back to what you said about the pine sol and all that. She would very frequently get yeast infections, and not to go down too. I'm not going to get too detailed, but it's not very appetizing or pleasing.
That's interesting. I hope that you can you Go further in detail on
You
that.
want me to go further in that?
Yeah, has anybody ever brewed a craft beer using live yeast?
Yeah,
Vaginal
like,
yeast?
Yes, right. In fact, if you don't mind,
Hey, what
James,
are you
the king
drinking
of
out there, people? What are
hey,
you
come on now.
drinking?
Actually, I
Well,
might
I'll be
share that
great
if you
for
don't mind,
Hounds, all
James.
you booze hounds.
Maybe I could share that for you.
you gotta ask Eric about that one.
Here's a share screen
He's
here.
supposed to come aboard soon.
Here you go. Let me know if that shows up on there.
Yeah, it showed up. Hold on.
All right, here we go. This is what
Just for a
James sent
healthy
me.
vagina. Right. Rub coconut oil on the outside of vaginal opening and inside the vagina. Eat lots of raw fruits. I think that's a picture of a mango. Take herbs.
I think that's a picture of an avocado in the middle.
Yes, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? You
like
mean
an
the
It's like
see,
the
that's
eye
the thing, right? You know,
eye of Horus. Drink
to
it.
to embellish Ronnie S a little bit, like when you're a kid, the best thing you could be is a gynecologist, right? If you think about it, right?
When you're a kid.
You know, like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a gynecologist. I want to look at
No,
female
no
body
kids.
parts all day, right?
No,
I don't
young
think any
boys.
kid says that.
Well, a lot of kids when I was growing up, that was like their dream, man. Let's be a gynecologist, right?
How
Yeah,
old were these boys?
Well, we were like 15, 16, you know.
Well, that's not a kid.
Well, I mean, I'm an old man at this point. I mean, you know, but come on,
100
right?
10 ounces.
You're
I
talking
know, come
about
on.
a young man.
But
Take
but
your
now
pick.
you look at it, right? You know, these true stories of these real gynecologists, man, they get the whoppers coming in. I mean, it's yeah, this is nice compared to what they're looking at
Yeah,
all day.
you really don't want to be a gynecologist.
No.
You know, look at it this way. If you're a
Take your
dentist or a
herbs.
gynecologist, think of all the ugly patients that come
Yeah,
in. And
that's
you
what I'm
gotta
saying.
look
Yeah,
at-
you really don't want to be a gynecologist.
No, I mean, you got all kinds. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hey doc, can you tell me what this discharge is? Ooh, you got to
And
put
they-
on
and
like
they
10
they
masks,
they
right?
deal with all ages, right?
Yes.
Up until
Yes.
the 80s and beyond.
ugh.
I mean, Betty White age even.
I mean,
yeah.
who would really want to do that, honestly?
And what if some really obese Walmart shopping hillbilly woman comes
Yeah.
waddling in?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, what's the percentage of like women that you'd want to see compared to the women that you really don't want to see? I would think it's disproportionately you don't want to see them.
Yeah.
I would think that.
You're absolutely
We know,
correct.
a former Democratic candidate, Andrew Yang, his wife was molested until she ran out by her gynecologist. You
She
know,
was
his
molested by a gynecologist?
yeah, in Midtown Manhattan, he was a little too vigorous and enthusiastic
Really?
in his examination.
That's unfortunate.
And
You know, you
I
bring
never
up a
heard
good.
that.
yeah, she ran out, and of course his license was
She ran out
Oh.
before anything happened?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because she knew something was not right about it. I mean,
Oh, wow.
no, he wasn't professional. He was.
You heard about that, Jason?
No, I didn't hear about that. I watched. I would say probably 2 years ago, I watched a documentary. I think it was on HBO, chronicling the Larry Nassar scandal, which is kind of in your neighborhood there, BC. Michigan State University, gymnastics. You know, the stuff he did. You know, it's not even worth mentioning because I don't want to give that, and I don't even want to say any bad words on air. But I don't want to give that. I'll just say
Well, this show
that
is uncensored,
motherfucker
right, James?
any airtime. The guy is such a sick,
Yeah, you can say anything you want.
sick bastard. Larry Nassar, my God, he ruined the lives of
I've
hundreds
heard
of.
the name.
Let me
don't
pull
remember
him up here
exactly
so you can
what it
see.
was. Are you
Um,
familiar with that?
I think James is the.
Well, any which way you look at it, that dude's gonna be dying in prison.
You familiar with it, James?
No, not what he's saying. I'm interested in.
So
The
this guy-
name sounds very familiar. I just
Let me
I
show
don't
you
know
a
the
picture
story.
here. Well, we're getting into some hard-headed subjects here right off the bat.
Well,
So this guy,
good. You know, we're not
Right off
here.
the bat.
We're not here just to get. We're not here to get intoxicated.
That's
and,
true.
We're not here pussyfooting around.
this
right?
isn't a carnival, right? We're not lining up to go on rides. But there's a picture there. If you can share the screen there, that's Larry Nasser. Okay, this is
Yeah.
the doctor,
He looks like Pee Wee Herman.
He
right?
does. He really does.
Right. Now let's pull up and just see what he was convicted of, because
Pee Wee in a fucking jail suit.
this guy,
Pee Wee was jerking off watching porn in the
Pee
movie.
Wee, yeah, Pee Wee got. He was
Florida-
showing up
in
in
Florida-
a drive-through
Florida-
theater, right?
Yeah, in a Florida theater in Sarasota or somewhere. down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I remember that. I was a kid at that time, but I remember the story.
I gotta tell you a joke since we're talking about Pee Wee Herman, right?
He was jerking off in a drive-through theater, right? And he got up on stage.
Well, yeah. So he was so this is kind of, think about it, right? You can get on your phone and you can do whatever you want wherever you want. But
Yeah.
back in the day, you actually had to go to these movie theaters, like in Taxi Driver. If
back
you
in
remember, he
Pee-wee's
takes
day.
Sybil Shepherd to the movies. He takes her to a movie and she's like, well, this isn't the kind of movie I want to see. And the guy's like buying popcorn. And then all of a sudden the guy's just nailing her on screen and she gets up and walks out. That's kind of what these
Wait,
shady.
what happened? Wait, what happened?
You ever see that movie Taxi Driver?
No,
Yeah.
I've never seen the whole movie. I've only seen.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to spoil it for you, but Robert De Niro plays, in
You
my
can spoil
opinion,
it. It's
one of his best roles, a very young Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And
It's a
Sybil
classic, I
Shepherd,
know.
Sybil Shepherd is working for this politician. Let's get this guy elected for president, right? So Robert De Niro drives his taxi over there and he parks and he sees her, and she's breathtaking. She's quite beautiful in that role. So he gets the courage up to go in there and says, hey, how can I help you? I want to contribute time. I want to volunteer to get this guy reelected. And he finally says, hey, let's go on a date, right? Do you want to go to the movies with me? So she agrees and they meet up with each other and he takes her to a dirty movie, okay, as a first date. And she gets completely appalled and she just storms out of there. And it kind of, goes down because the guy's a nutcase. He works at night. He can't sleep. But anyway, I got a joke for you, kind of in line with the Pee Wee Herman stuff, right? Did you hear that Pee Wee Herman died?
He did.
No.
Yeah, he had a massive stroke.
Uh,
like in the movie theater, right?
Massive stroke. Bum.
Yeah, let's hear the bells. Come on.
He had a massive stroke. Oh my goodness.
A massive stroke.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Oh
pretty
my
good.
God.
His appeal to young children vanished after that incident. Pee-wee's Playhouse. But
to your point, these guys.
getting back to Nasser.
Okay, so getting back to Nasser, right? So here's a picture of him here. He was the team doctor for the United States women's national gymnastics team. Now he went to University of Michigan, go blue, right? BC. You got that. I like that hat, by the way. That's a nice Michigan hat on. But what he would do is he would, sort of fondle and molest these women that, well, they were actually just young girls. I mean, as young as in their preteen age.
Now I remember this case because I saw it on the news when they were interviewing the young girls. Now I remember it.
Right. So you see his penalty here. His earliest release date given means that he would be an age where it is guaranteed he will be dead, which is, you sort of hear these things, life without parole. I would say, in my opinion, probably one of the harshest sentences ever handed down to somebody is like the Unabomber or Timothy McVeigh, if you recall.
Oh, the Unabomber was innocent.
Wait a minute. This guy got life without parole just for fondling.
Oh, it's hundreds of confirmed accusations that he was convicted of.
Oh,
convictions here, yeah.
Now, what were the other convictions
for Larry Nasser?
Yeah,
same thing. Just all molestation, fondling.
He was a diddler. He was a
So,
diddler.
so he was really fucked up in the head, right?
So
Massively.
he was like
massively.
Fatty Arbuckle back in the silent movie days. He was a diddler.
Like
Yeah.
a peeping Tom, but he went too far.
He went
Yeah.
way too far.
Yeah, he's
And this kind of gets into the whole Jerry Sandusky thing. I know we're sort of going down a bad path here of all these sexual predators.
It's okay.
In my opinion, this is just my opinion, but anybody that lays their hand on a young girl should be. This guy, I can.
What do you consider a young girl?
Well, inappropriately. Let's just say maybe not even young. Inappropriately, right? In my opinion, is just not
because
right.
even an old lady, shouldn't be
Correct.
respected like that.
But they can defend themselves, right? These were young girls sent
That's
to
true.
them,
That's
sort
So
of.
what do you consider young? Like under 18?
I would say yes, a minor for sure. But even over the age of 18,
What do you
some
think,
of
Are you
these.
kidding me? Those high school
What do you think, James?
those high school chicks are sluts, man. You're not
Some of them are, yeah. Some of them.
You're not corrupting them. When I think of young, I'm thinking of like not even in high school yet, grammar school.
I feel like they're corrupting me sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I had a gym teacher.
Look at this guy. He's fucking Pee Wee Herman up here.
Yeah, I know. I had a
I
gym
know.
teacher, Mr. Tuminelli, that got fired in Lodi High School for having an affair with a young female high school.
That's a common story, James.
Yeah,
there's many times in high school, especially the gym teachers, the male gym teachers.
Yeah.
They get fired because they just get too close.
Yeah, even if the girl is seducing the gym teacher, the gym teacher is the adult and the girl's a minor.
Yeah.
He's supposed to know better, right?
He's supposed to know better. He's supposed to say no means no. No. That's
Now,
it.
do they
Exactly.
train? Do they give you that training like when you go to the gym teacher college?
They should. Everybody else has to sit through sexual harassment.
What do you think, Jason? Do they
orientation.
train these guys, or are they just going in there like blindfolded?
It's hard to say, right? In my opinion, this behavior is not something that is done below the radar. Somebody had to have seen or known something at some point
Who do you
and just
think
didn't
knows?
say something, right?
What do you think knows?
Like, for example, Jerry Sandusky, right, at Penn State University. Joe Paterno knew for all those years that boys were being molested and didn't do anything about it, and sort of played dumb. And it was the downfall of a great coach, the most winningest coach in college football. And you know what? All those records, all those accolades, even the Joe Paterno library, they're all down.
Jason,
They're done.
Do you think he was a victim of cancel culture, or do you think it was warranted?
Who?
The guy you're talking about.
Jerry Sandusky?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a serial pedophile molester. I don't know. I mean, you think about how long this happened. It's sort of very much it predates the sort of mainstream internet, social media.
I think it came around the Me Too stuff around that same time.
A little
period.
bit, yeah.
It was like 2 years ago, right?
The Jerry Sandusky thing. Let me just.
James, you remember? What was it like? 2019, 2018.
He was convicted in 2012, right?
No. It was way after that.
But see, he did it from 94 to 09. So you sort of look at when he did 52 counts of sexual abuse of young boys. And,
now,
say
again,
what you will.
The word young comes into play. So
Correct.
What does young even mean?
I think that means a minor.
Under 18?
Under 18, yeah. And, you start to look at his life in prison. What do you think his life in prison is like, right?
Well,
I guarantee you he has no friends.
He's definitely in solitary confinement because they can't put him in the population.
Right.
They'll kill. They'll rape him, but they probably kill him too.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's definitely in solitary.
Yeah. But what I was going, and maybe we'll just click off this in just a minute, and we'll get back on James's program here. I was talking about harsh sentences, right? I think this is probably one of the harshest sentences I've seen. 8 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Well, they give that all the time. That's what they give to the mob guys.
That's true. And you look at Timothy McVeigh. I think he had some extreme. I mean, he was killed. But you sort of
Timothy
look at.
McVeigh was the Unabomber.
That's right.
No, Oklahoma City.
No, this is the Oklahoma City bomber.
Was that the Unabomber, the Oklahoma City?
No, this is the Unabomber. The guy he
Is
would
that
mail
diff- is that
packages to
different?
university. That's Ted Kaczynski. This is
Oh.
the guy that parked
Oh, okay.
the van of fertilizer and all the other bombs, incendiary devices outside the federal building in Oklahoma City, and then blew that up. That killed 168 people, 19 children, injured 680 others.
Okay, so
Destroyed
what
a
is this
third of
guy?
that building.
What is his sentence? What does he get?
Well, he was killed. He was executed. Execution by
They
lethal
killed him,
injection.
huh?
They killed him.
All right, so let me ask you this, Jason. I'm just going to take a little side note here.
Yep.
George W. Bush. What is his sentence for starting the Iraq War for absolutely no reason, killing millions of people?
That's it, man.
Because of weapons of mass destruction that were not there. How come
Absolutely.
this guy is still on TV and he's accepted? Right? What's his sentence?
You're talking about the second Iraq War, essentially.
Iraq War II,
like
yeah.
2000, just after the terrorist attacks of 9/11, right?
Well, yeah, it was 2 years later, a year and a half later.
Yeah,
right?
this is my goodness, is a great subject. So, in my opinion, and I always say things in my opinion because some of this is fact, but a lot of this is subjective. So I always kind of preface pretty much whatever I say with my opinion, because that way I'm taking the blame solely for my comment. There was probably some unfinished business there that senior left on the table.
That was. Yeah.
They certainly didn't get Saddam Hussein. Now they managed to sort of keep Kuwait safe and to make sure that the citizens were not harmed and
now you're talking about Iraq War I.
So yeah, which led into the second one, though, right? So
in a way,
in a way, it did, because you start to look at the events that happened after.
But let me just ask you this, Jason.
Oh yeah,
I think me and you are around the same age.
I'm 43.
You're 43.
43.
Oh, okay.
So I'm probably about twice your age then, huh?
You're a lot older than me. When I was in high school. When I was in middle school, they were telling us that we weren't patriots if we didn't support this fucking retarded war, right? And I had friends that joined up in the military, patriotic guys, to go fight some retarded war. And I had a friend die in Afghanistan.
I did too. It's very sad. I'm very sorry for your loss.
And what happens to George Bush?
Absolutely nothing. And that's a sad state of affairs, right? Because you sort of look at this country's history with war. It's not something that's spoken about. It's not something that's talked about. It's barely even taught anymore in history, right?
They gloss over it, and all they say is you gotta support the troops, right?
Correct.
You gotta support the troops. Get out of here, man. I don't want to get on a whole thing.
No, you're right. Now, you start to look at what does the military provide those that serve, right? Well, they are effectively putting their life on the line to do what they're told, right? And I think that
they get fed a bed of lies before they join.
Most certainly. And what they're told is not necessarily what's right? You look at what happened in Vietnam. I mean, we started bombing Cambodia. We're not even at war with Cambodia, and we dropped.
Look what happened in Vietnam, and that's our parents' generation, and they didn't learn from that. They didn't learn from that, and then it's
Korea.
It's mind-boggling that the Iraq bullshit even was allowed to pass, but it passed. It passed.
It did.
Like they learned nothing from Vietnam.
These are
they learn
wars.
nothing.
These are wars for profiteering.
Absolutely.
The military
I think
industrial
there's more
complex.
to it than just profit. Profit is a thing. Dick Cheney was certainly trying to get a profit out of it, but it's more to it than that, James. It's
It might
a
be
lot of times it's pure evil, pure
might be
fucking
the
evil.
evil of the oligarch,
Yeah, yeah,
the
Dick
people.
Cheney was the most powerful vice president we've ever had. He really didn't need
yes, yes.
to even
That's
seek
true.
counsel from the president. Normally, the president's the most powerful person in the office. And
Well,
during the Bush,
they say that, but you know,
yeah,
but usually the vice president doesn't mean anything. But yeah, Dick
no,
Cheney, he was a big deal. He was a big
Dick
deal.
Cheney was almost effectively acting as the president when it
Yes,
came to
yeah.
matters of defense and
And his daughter,
Liz
fuck her,
Cheney.
man, fuck that fucking bitch.
Well, there's a lot of bad blood in that Cheney family too. One of the
She has blood on her hands, and I don't care
you're
how
absolutely
bad
correct.
I don't care how bad Trump was. He wasn't as evil as your dad was.
Most certainly. Now, Dick Cheney has another daughter. I can't think of her name at the moment, but she is lesbian. Okay. And it was seen when he was entering and running political office. It was seen at the time, it was seen as a negative. So he sort of
That's probably
distanced
why
himself.
we don't hear about her. Yeah.
Think about this. For his own gain, he pretty much shunned his daughter, and her sister, Liz Cheney, did the same thing as well for her own political gain, right? Because it was
believe
seen.
that because in 2004 they were running as the ultra Christian conservatives. So there's no way that he could have showed a lesbian daughter. No way at all.
No. So yeah, family. Yeah, what's the blood is thicker than water? Well, not when it comes for running for office. My goodness,
Not when it comes to being a scumbag politician.
Most certainly. Now, I'll ask you again, right? We're hitting on extremely fantastic subjects. I could go all day on this stuff, but let me just ask you, what has Dick Cheney done? Like, how did he get to the position of vice president? Right? He was chief of staff.
He was the Secretary of Defense in Bush 1's administration.
Correct. But what did he do before that? Right? He was an intern. If you go all the way back to this whole thing,
yeah, he goes all the way back to Nixon.
He was an intern in Congress.
All of these neocons go back to Nixon. All of them. That's when they first started.
I've read the biography on Richard Nixon. I've recently just completed a series on CNN called Tricky Dick. I could talk about Nixon all day.
Now Nixon wasn't entirely bad. He wasn't entirely bad.
Well, Nixon started the
opened up relations with China. And
yes,
he was kind of a progressive Republican. Kind of moderate.
Very much so. He started the EPA, which I don't agree with, but maybe you do.
Well, I can tell you more about that, right? Effectively, the reason the EPA was started was so that they could lease land to China to help pay down our debt. So they would declare land. So the EPA would go in and declare land, government land, right? They would seize land, and then that land then could be used as partial payment on a debt.
That's very interesting.
That was the whole reason
the EPA. I never heard that before. Yep. I believe it though.
Now, the Environmental Protection Agency, it's fantastic, but you think about the whole reason it was created, though. Yeah,
for China's the whole benefit. Reason it was created was for China.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I want to touch upon this subject that's kind of upsetting. What you see here in the print screen, Joe Biden, with the orders he gave to the IRS, wants to crack down on smartphone app payments going to individuals that have
they're trying to get rid of cash.
PayPal. Well, what I mean is PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. He wants to crack down on people receiving cash through these apps in terms of paying taxes. Now,
they don't want cash.
But this is, well, I realize they're going towards a cashless society, but instead of going after the mega rich and changing the tax system before Reagan made the middle class pay most of the taxes, this is just another tax on the middle class. Like consumption taxes and the, all the middle class is carrying the burden, and still no one's going after the rich, the mega rich. Nothing has changed. So, which means that Biden is living up to his promise as an establishment,
You're
An
absolutely correct,
establishment
James.
piece of shit. That's what he is.
James,
corporatist. I don't know if he's a neoliberal. I
And
don't think
now,
so.
I think he is a neoliberal. Yeah, you could probably
He's a
classify him as
corporate
that.
whore. He's an establishment.
Yeah, he's an
Democrat.
old piece of shit. First of all, that shouldn't be there. But you're right, James. You're right. This guy stands for everything that's wrong.
The tax system before Reagan changed it, gave the breaks to the middle class, which happens to include small businesses and Main Street America, professionals, self-employed professionals like CPAs and whatever, chiropractors. These are all middle class.
You're partially correct. It's not all about the tax system though. Actually, Trump's tax reform thing that he did in 2017 was a huge overhaul of the tax code, and it wasn't really just him. It was basically the Republicans that did it, but they put a lot of good things in there for small businesses. They put a lot of good things in there, but they took a lot of things out for individuals and employees. So if you're just working a job like I do, like a lot of people do, you're not going to get any of those deductions that you think that you used to get. You don't get them anymore, and people still save their receipts and they still do all this stuff, but it doesn't mean anything.
you're
You
absolutely correct.
you go to your accountant in this time of year, and you think you're saving on this and saving on that. None of that stuff matters anymore.
Your standard,
At all.
the
There
standard,
used to be a
yeah.
time, Jason, when you could have a baby. People used to go and try to have a baby on December 31st instead of having it on January 1st, because you used to get what's called an exemption, which is basically a deduction for your baby, for a person, right? That doesn't exist anymore, but people think it does, but it doesn't.
Oh, you're correct.
Yeah.
And when they increased the standard deduction, back to your point,
They doubled it.
yes, they doubled it, and they also you're right. You used to actually be able to write off and itemize things and do all these itemized deductions.
It's not write off. I don't like that word.
Correct. You've already paid taxes on it. This is the thing, and I think this is what you're essentially trying to say, and I just like to make that statement. We don't live in a free country. If I didn't pay property taxes on this house, my house wouldn't be here. They'd take it away from me,
house,
right?
Jason.
I don't own the house.
You don't own the house.
Well,
You might have paid off your mortgage.
I don't know. Are you still making payments on the house?
If you don't pay pay those property taxes.
Okay. Well, I'll put you like, okay. Well, you might not own your house, but you get with payments to the house. Okay, the house is yours. But the thing is,
he doesn't own it. He doesn't technically
so
own it.
you're paying to live on the land.
Correct.
So
no. I'm telling you,
it's just one of them things.
He doesn't own
the house after you pay the mortgage, but you pay to live on the land.
It sounds like he owns it. Right? He paid off his mortgage. Let's just say he paid off a mortgage. It's all gone. If he doesn't pay his property taxes to the county or to the town, wherever you live, they're going to kick you out. The sheriff's going to come in and you're going to be arrested. So you don't own that.
If I don't pay tabs, we call them tabs. I don't know what. You put the little sticker on your license plate that says you're good for a whole year. If I don't do that, then I can't drive on the road. If I don't renew my driver's license,
the government owns your land.
Correct.
If you don't pay what's called taxes,
yep,
they throw you out.
Eminent domain is
a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they want to build a highway through your house, you're out. You're out of there.
They did that when they built I-5. I can tell you, yes, you rent your house from the government. Absolutely, Jay. Happy New Year. You're right.
Ron Ontario, man.
They built I-5 right through downtown Seattle, and they just tore buildings up and boom. I mean, it's a great thing.
Eminent domain is a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing, eminent domain. It's disgusting what they do.
Yeah. Well, what Joe Biden did was he went back on his campaign promises to Bernie Sanders, because Sanders says, I'll convince my people to vote for you, but you have to
Right.
You have to put in more progressive,
But Sanders is a sellout too, man.
but in terms of the taxation, like taking the burden off of the middle class and having the rich pay like they did before Reagan.
Sanders, he has all these guys that are all for him. It was in 2016 and in 2020, and he just rolls over. The DNC screwed him both years.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah, twice. And but he rolls over and he supports Clinton and he supports Biden.
I know he's a sellout.
Did you get the link over to Jay?
He has
Yeah,
raisin.
Jay,
Yeah, I
let's
did.
get Ron in here.
He has raisin balls.
He really
That's
does.
what you showed there.
I sent it to. Hold on, I sent it to you on
The link.
on Messenger.
No, it's not the plane. It's not the plane. The plane. The link.
I sent it.
Your tattoo.
Right. The plane. The link.
Decorum.
Yeah, I watched the show too. I watched Fantasy Island. Yeah, it's tattoo.
May I
Yeah.
please have decorum.
Put the link in the comments.
I
James.
did. No,
Man, I love
I
Ricardo
don't want
Montalban and Fantasy
I don't
Island.
want all these trolls to have the link. I sent it to him on Facebook Messenger. He has the link. Facebook Messenger.
You know,
All right. So he
to me, two iconic roles that Ricardo Montalban ever did was Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island and Khan from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. So,
Well, of course we don't see universal health care, single payer Medicare. Of course we don't see free public universities for everyone because the oligarch, the fat cats are in charge. They own the media. They own the two major parties. And they're a bunch of corporate whores.
James, what do you think of AOC coming down to Florida?
Right, what is she doing down in Florida? Vacation?
You didn't see that? Yeah, she was vacationing, and Ron DeSantis called her out for it.
Really?
And he told her to get out of here.
He made a comment, something to the effect of, if I had $1 for every politician that made fun of Florida but came down here on vacation, I'd be a rich man, or something to that effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and then she told him, go do something about Corona or something, and he said, I'm at the hospital right now with my wife because she has breast cancer. So shut the fuck up.
Well, listen. It's Florida is still part of the United States of America. If somebody wants to take a vacation, they should take it without being a.
But she talks so much shit about it. What is she doing here?
That's a right. It's a right to do it. We have a special guest.
We have the legendary Ron Terrio.
We have hold on. Decorum. We have Ronald J. Terrio from.
I know, Ron. You heard about this story, right?
Decorum. Let me finish. From southeastern Louisiana.
Did you hear about Miss Cortez coming to Florida, Ron?
Terrible
No, but I just heard you talking about it. Oh, winter lager. Okay. Yeah.
She came down here for a vacation. Who does she think she is?
Greg Swenson. Well, she likes the vacation in Florida.
All right. Okay. Now, James P. Madonna probably thinks I don't care about this hangout group show. I do, but I do watch football on Sundays. I'll admit that. And like the Saints game is coming up pretty soon. I do watch the national. Yeah, so I do watch the National Socialist Football.
No, I believe you. No, I believe you watch college football and NFL. I don't. I think
we all watch football, Ron.
I think that another individual who told Jason Cleveland, send me the link. I want to be on the show. And every time he gets it, he only was on once, and he ate his lunch, and he.
Oh, you're talking about Goldsmith.
And he left. So I mean, I
don't play. Look. I've been on this since November 2010. I don't play games with people. If I tell somebody, look, like if somebody told me, oh, I want you to join my show, and I didn't want to join it, I would just say, I really don't want to join it, but I appreciate the invite. I wouldn't play games I wouldn't be like, yeah, let me look into that. I'm gonna see what I can do. That's what women do, like, hey, you want to go out this Saturday?
Right.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that, but I
We're
got
not
something
women.
going on.
We're not
I'm
women
like,
here. We're men.
If I'm free, if I have free time, yeah.
but I'm
You know
just
what,
saying
Jay?
that's an example of that game playing. I don't play
Yeah.
games, and I agree, and I'm very assertive with that. So
You know what, Jay, and I might just say I think that's part of the allure with your program is that you don't say things for someone else's benefit, right? You call it as you see it.
He doesn't say things to get likes
Correct.
or to
Or
get
subscribers or more views or anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very rare to have that to have always had that approach of call it as you see it, no sugarcoating. I'm not going to join if I don't want to, right? And I appreciate that. That's why I like your program.
He's a very fair guy. I agree with him on politics and stuff like that, history kind of stuff. But he doesn't hold it against you if you don't, and he'll answer every single comment that you make on his shows.
channel.
And if anybody wants to debate him, they're welcome to come on live.
For what is it, a
with
half hour? But
video.
You can't have a mask on. Can't wear a mask.
No, and you can't use an alias, and you got to come on as yourself with the webcam, with the video and audio, and then he will allow you to debate him. Now, I just want to show. I want to show everyone.
You got 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes uninterrupted. Now,
this is
I
one
agree
of our.
with y'all about
one time BC took you up on that, right?
No, I agree that I agree that you rent your house from the government. Yes, you rent your property from the government because if you don't pay the property taxes, you won't own it. They'll come take it.
I didn't say they rented. I said they don't own it.
Right. No, but I'm saying if basically you're renting your property from the government, right?
Yeah.
Because my house,
I guess you could say that, yeah.
And if you don't pay the rent, meaning the property tax, you're going to get evicted. You're going to get evicted from your rental property.
Yeah, you don't. If you actually really own something, you can't get evicted from it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the government owns it. The government owns it.
Now, James, you were going to do something, and we started blabbing.
No, I blocked them. I just wanted to show you what our Sunday troll does.
I think somebody made a funny comment. They're like, "Oh, that's one of the Russian brides trying to get your attention."
Now, Jason, there's I found this out. There's a Russian thing, like a porn thing that they're posting on every single channel on YouTube now.
I've seen that.
Every hangout. Yeah, every hangout.
Yeah, they're being very aggressive about it.
These people.
You've seen that too, Ron?
Oh yeah, every live hangout I do, they start making these little link comments, and then you say, "Oh yeah, I know who this is," and so I just ignore it. I just ignore it.
Yeah.
Most people, with any kind of sense, ignore it. I don't have time to stay on here too long, y'all, due to going to watch the National Socialist Football Cartel. But
are you gonna watch the Bucks game?
No, the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. Haha.
Wow.
Now remember, Ron, we have to end racism.
Yes, and we have to do the right thing. And I like, the NFL is really funny. They're comical. They crack me up. Before I started watching the NFL, I thought we were supposed to promote racism. I thought we were supposed to be virulent racists. I was a very racist. I'm white, and
Oh yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, wow. I was thinking to myself, I love this racist ideology that I promote. And then I started watching the National Football. Yeah, and I started watching the National Football League, and I said, "Oh,
we have to end racism."
Wait a minute. Yeah, I said, "Wait a minute. I have to work to end racism. I feel so guilty."
We're all in this together, Ron.
We're all in this together. And another thing, Ronnie, I used to think, and I don't kid around, y'all know I don't joke about these things. I used to think that Black lives did not matter. Yeah. But then
I thought the same thing. Now all of a sudden they matter. Yeah, it's weird.
What all these slogans started seeing,
speaking of that, I'm going to talk to Ronald about something that we brushed upon on during Fandango Friday, which was that they tore down yet another historic monument, a Robert E. Lee statue in Louisiana. Was it in New Orleans or
Yeah,
outside?
and then they voted to
Louisiana is a sad state. You got to move to Florida, Ron.
And it's
and then they voted to rename Robert E. Lee Boulevard to Allen Toussaint Boulevard.
They're not doing that here. They're not doing that here.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like you got all these people tearing down these monuments, and I was always under the belief that you got to learn from history. And how are you able to do that if you're
They don't
tearing down
believe in
these
history.
monuments?
They don't believe in history. That's why.
This is America. This is a piece of American history. The historic monuments are educational, including the buildings, and they should not be vandalized or taken down. And whether you agree politically or not, this whole cancel culture crap, political correctness, is part of the power game, I think, from the neoliberals. Just like with feminists. Feminism is originally started by man-hating lesbians. And I believe it's still the same. And as long as people are enablers and people comply with them, and they're afraid to say the magic word, which is no. Same thing with modern day parents. They're afraid to say no. As long as this continues, they will try to gain more power, more leverage, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Now,
you're partly right about the feminist movement. There's more to it. Oh, there's Matsui.
Yes, good morning. Let's hear the bell. Good morning.
good morning, Masumi from Japan. Good morning. It is now 5:05 a.m. Monday in Tokyo. Good morning.
But James, good morning, Matsui. And James, I can't stay on long. I mean, I could stay on long, but I'm going to watch the Saints game. You know that.
No, I know.
But
This side
if you
just
look at the history,
macro, boo, 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 down with macro. It's peasants for peasants. All right, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm a peasant. I'm drinking a macro right now. But I got it for 49 cents a can. So,
Nothing wrong with drinking macro.
Yeah, if you look at the history of the feminist movement, it goes back to the late 1950s, really. And there were people like Betty Friedan, who I think wrote The Feminine Mystique, Bella Abzug, and others. All of these women had something in common, which is what that
they were lesbian.
and none of them, Gloria Steinem, and none of them were Presbyterians, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
If you look at but I used to tell my students this in high school, if you look at the culture they came from, going back to the Middle East, before the Romans expelled them in the year AD 70, they had a very male-dominated culture. So the way they're
talking about the Jews.
Billie Jean King, remember that with Billie Jean King?
Wow, yeah.
You're talking about the Jews, right? The Jews were expelled in 70.
I don't want to get arrested. They if you look at the culture,
came from the Jews.
Well, study your history. They came from a very male-dominated culture where the men treated the women basically as slaves, like chattel. So if the women were treated like slaves, and it wasn't like
they also say that Catholics are the same way, but they're really not, right?
No, and so it was very different from the European world, where women were on an equal basis, like with the Vikings and the English and the common law countries, and even France with Napoleonico, where women had rights. So these women like Bella Abzug and Gloria Steinem and Betty Friedan, they were very resentful against their husbands who dominated them in the Orthodox world, especially. And so and plus, you have to consider, they all grew up in this revolutionary culture. Most of them were exiles from Russia, and they had been kicked out. They had been kicked out of Russia and Germany for revolutionary activity, socialist, communist revolutionary activity. So
Now,
they
Ron, why do you think they were burning their bras? What's that
they
all about?
well, wait, hold on. They fed that whole mindset into the feminist movement, which went along with the Antonio Gramsci strategy of the long march of the institutions, and the family is an important institution. So by disrupting the family, by disrupting the family and pushing this anti-male feminist radical revolutionary activity, that could help. Oh yes, oatmeal stout from
That's a good stout.
that
Yeah,
could help.
I do agree with
That
you.
would help promote. That would help
Antonio Gramsci,
promote.
he was an Italian, right? He's an Italian.
He was an Italian communist in the 1930s, and he was the one that proposed the long march to the institution.
And he realized that they couldn't revolutionize the United States in an economic way, so they decided to do it in a social way.
And through
And
culture.
that was called the Long March through the institutions. He was a big
cultural
part
war.
in taking part in that. Yeah, I do know about that. Yeah.
And so
it seems to have worked. It seems to have worked.
It has worked very well. It has worked very well because they didn't go out there and set fire bombs and blow up cars and
that's what they were originally doing, and then they realized it wasn't working.
Right. They didn't go assassinate people. They burned their bras and did these marches like the Women's March in 1970, and they did all these antics. And that is what really made a lot of progress for the revolutionary groups.
And look where we are today.
We're
canceling people.
Yeah, everybody has to walk on eggshells. Well, they don't have to.
Now,
They do it.
James may have blanked out while you were describing that whole thing and not even listened, but he does agree with you on the end point as far as the gap.
I hope James was listening.
I respect his history lessons because I know they're accurate.
You respect it, but I think you weren't really listening. But you do agree on that the Indians shouldn't be called the guardians. See, people see these things now, it's blatantly obvious at this point.
It's petty. It's I mean, so what? Nobody that goes to Cleveland Indians ball games or Washington Redskins football games thinks racist thoughts towards indigenous people.
Right. So at this point, you don't even really have to know the whole history of why it got here. We just know that this is not right, and that
I mean,
it's
what's
like
next?
I've always said, it's one of the things. I'm sure I'm not the only one where their parents said, "Oh, you're crying. Oh, how'd they go? Oh, if you're crying now, I'll give you something to cry about." It's like, come on, man. If you want to get offended, if you're offended now, I'm going to really give you something to be offended about.
Right. And look, I got to get off, but look, the stuff with Robert E. Lee and the Confederate States and all that, that was the foot in the door because that's a more problematic. It's much harder to defend that because of the slavery issue and all that and all that. Yeah. Right. I mean, I can defend it. Of course I can. I've always been able to.
It's just publicly acceptable to say like, he was a Confederate guy and
Oh yeah, and the slavery stuff.
There was a time, I think in 2017, Trump came out and said, if they keep doing this to the Confederates, they're gonna come after George Washington and they're gonna come after
Abraham Lincoln,
Jefferson. Trump said that. I'm not a big Trump guy, whatever, but he was actually right about that.
What's next? The Audubon Society is going to say, well, you're mocking the Orioles, Baltimore. You're mocking the bird.
Well, actually, the Audubon Society does not talk about John James Audubon because he had an association with the South and the slave days. So they're thinking about changing their name from John Audubon. And these people are fanatics. Like Trump said, and I'm saying that was a foot in the door. Like you're saying, Ronnie.
He's right. Yeah.
It's George Washington
Trump
next.
The buffoon was actually right about this.
George Washington, Lincoln. They're going to go after all of them. Those people. Okay. They're not going to have Jefferson Monument.
Let me just throw this in here real quick, and not to cut you off. And I know you got to go, but I don't know if you heard. In New York City, I think it was like a month or two ago, they took down in City Hall a statue of Thomas Jefferson because he owned slaves. So Thomas Jefferson is gone.
Did you hear
that?
Did you know that? Did you know that?
Jefferson
Oh, they all had
Washington
slaves.
gonna
The
be
founding
offering
fathers.
a single.
They were landowners too.
New York City.
And what are they gonna
is
do with
completely
Lee
off
on the
cliff.
$50 bill? I mean,
They
come
are
on.
off.
Where's it
they're off the
end?
cliff. They're not even anything anymore. New York City
It
is
doesn't
finished.
end. It doesn't end. They took down Theodore Roosevelt, and I'm not a Theodore Roosevelt fan by any means.
I don't
took
like
down
Theodore
his-
Roosevelt at all. I don't like him.
They took down Theodore Roosevelt's statue from the New York Museum because he was like the king of the progressives.
But
But they
Theodore
took down his
Roosevelt is not Thomas Jefferson. It's not the same thing.
I
Thomas
understand, but I'm saying
Jefferson.
they're taking
they-
down his statue, and Roosevelt was a big time progressive. They even eat their own. They destroy their own clan.
That's
Roosevelt
true.
started
Yeah.
the national park system.
He started the National Wildlife
He
Refuge.
did. Yeah,
system.
that is true. He did do good
Well,
stuff. for
instead of
conservation.
Thomas Jefferson, I would put a Native American great like chief sitting bull
No,
on
no.
one side and the
No.
bison. What do you mean?
Don't
No,
put anything. It shouldn't have been taken down.
Well, don't put anything. Who do you want? What
I'm
about
saying
the other?
leave it alone.
What do you got? What do you got to put on the other bills? What do you
Leave
got to put?
Thomas Jefferson alone. Why was he taken down?
Well, I agree with that. Don't take down Thomas Jefferson's statue. I'm
No,
a
don't
Democrat. I'm a
Yeah,
Democrat,
but
but
then again, what's gonna hit
I'm not
Mount
trying
Rushmore?
to talk about what he's going to be replaced with. I think it
Yeah,
should
Theodore Roosevelt on there.
I'm talking about the bill, the
The
money.
only one that's safe on there is what, Abe?
no, they don't like Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln said that the United States should deport all black people back to Africa. So they want to get rid of him.
They don't
Did
say
say
that.
that.
Oh, there goes Mount Rushmore.
They don't. They don't.
Oh,
say
he
that.
said that.
Abraham Lincoln is supposed to be the patriarch
Absolutely.
of the Republican Party, and that's what the Republicans cling to, but they shouldn't
Right.
because it makes
Yeah,
them a liability.
Abraham Lincoln said that he wanted to make a
Yeah,
constitutional amendment.
he wanted to make a colony in Africa for newly freed slaves out of here. That is true.
And he wanted an involuntary deportation. He wanted all blacks deported to Africa so that the United States would be an all-white country. Also, and I can prove that. Abraham Lincoln.
That's definitely true. That's not hard to prove.
Abraham Lincoln also said that he did not believe in equal rights, that white people should be superior in the United States. He said he wanted a constitutional amendment making slavery perpetual, that it could never
He
be
was also a
stopped.
tyrant.
If the South could be left in the United States, he wanted to keep the South part of the United States.
Yes.
He's
His
very
most important
tyrannical.
thing. His most important thing was keeping the country centralized.
United, yeah,
Well, they
centralized.
did
Yeah.
the same. Look, they tried to eradicate Native Americans, but I was so happy that Custer was
They did
killed.
eradicate them.
They did. I'm so happy. Sitting Bull. I mean, the Little Bighorn battle.
Yeah, but wait, you should feel bad for Custer because I've got a long speech from Custer that he made to Congress before the massacre of or the battle of Little Bighorn. Custer went to Congress before 1876, and there was a hearing about Indian trouble, and he said, we're the victims, the army. He meant the army. We're the victims because you, the government, he made I can go get it right now. He said, you, the government, makes all these treaties with the Indians. Then you violate every treaty that you make. Then they get angry and then they rise up and then you send us
Very
into
similar sounding to Iraq or Syria.
Yeah. And Custer said, then you send us in to
very
fight.
similar sounding.
You send us in to fight these people, And he
We
said,
gotta
I work for
support
the
these
government.
troops, Ron. We gotta support these troops, right? Whether they're fighting the Indians or they're fighting the Iraqis.
Right. So I think Custer gets a bad rap. I think Custer gets a bad rap because he made a talk to Congress in a hearing saying that you're the reason. You are the reason.
Can you
US
put that
government-
in the comments?
I can get it right now. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, now this is fascinating, hard-hitting truth.
It is.
I mean, it is. This is good, and I know Jason has tons of print screens of heavy-duty articles about the oligarch. The top 1%, what they're doing to the world, actually, not just the country.
To the it's an empire.
Absolutely.
It's an empire.
The unfortunate thing is we've only got Jay for like another 7 minutes before the Socialist Football League starts again.
Mm-hmm.
America in
This is a book I bought.
1876.
Yeah, it's a
So
book
Ron,
I
can
got.
you put a link where that's available online though?
I'll find
I have
it.
to-
I'll
I
find
No,
have
it.
to-
Just
Jason will find it.
Jay's only
This
got
is,
6 minutes here.
Right, I gotta go. This is a book that I bought in 1976. Well, I say I bought it, my parents bought it, but it's a 100th anniversary. In this book, this section is called The Western Empire, chapter General Custer and the Battle of the Little Bighorn. So they're talking about the Battle of the Little Bighorn.
What's the book
And,
called again, Jay? If you could show it.
America in 1876, The Way
Okay.
We Were. And this came out in 1976. That's how long I've had this book. So there's a section here. Custer opposes Grant's Indian policy. It says, Custer outlined his opposition to Grant's Indian policies in his memoirs. And in 1876, he openly voiced his criticism in testimony before a congressional committee, alleging that Grant's Secretary of War, William Belknap, was selling post-traderships. Quote, General Custer testified that he had called Belknap's attention to abuses, but with no result. Reported the New York Herald, March 30th, 1876. The sale of post-traderships was a peculiarly mean piece of robbery, for all the money that was got out of such bargains was forced out of the pockets of poor soldiers. Belknap was impeached, Custer explained. Now, here's what Custer explained to the congressional committee. I believe the reasons why the Indians should be controlled by the Department of War, the department which must assume the reins of power when any real control is exercised, are convincing. I believe to be the true solution of our difficulties with the Indians at the present day. It seems almost incredible that a policy which is claimed and represented to be based on sympathy for the red man and a desire to secure him his rights is shaped in reality and manipulated behind the scenes with the distinct and sole object of reaping a rich harvest by plundering both the government and the Indians, to do away with the vast army of agents, traders, and civilian employees, which is a necessary appendage of the civilian policy, would be to deprive members of Congress of a vast deal of patronage, which they now enjoy. There are few, if any, more comfortable or desirable places of disposing of a friend who has rendered valuable political service or electioneering aid than to secure for him the appointment of an Indian agent. So what Custer was saying is that the government was crookedly cheating the Indians, causing the uprisings, and then sending in the army to solve the problem. But you don't hear that.
It sounds very, very similar to what they do in the Middle East.
Right. In Iraq, Afghanistan.
Now, could you hold up that book close to the camera, Ronald, please, for a brief moment? All right, you got that? The link is in the comments, people.
That's
Amazon link. All right.
I'm gonna look it up too.
All right. Okay.
Very, very
Now,
similar to what's going on today.
Let me read the rest of this. This is very short. He said the salary of an agent is comparatively small.
Mm-hmm.
Men without means, however, eagerly accept the position, and in a few years at furthest, they almost invariably retire in wealth. This is George Custer talking. George Custer said, "Who ever heard of a retired Indian agent or a trader in limited circumstances? How did they realize fortunes upon so small a salary? In the disposition of the annuities provided for the Indians by the government, the agent is usually the distributing medium. Between himself and the Indian, there is no system of accountability. No vouchers given or received. No books are kept. In fact, no record except the statement which the agent chooses to forward to his superintendent. The trader is usually present at the distribution of annuities. If the agent, instead of distributing to the Indians all of the goods intended for them by the government, only distributed one half and retains the other half, who is the wiser? Not the Indian, defrauded though he may be.
Well, they were drunk because they were giving them whiskey.
Right, for he is ignorant of how much is coming to him. The word of the agent is his only guide." So this is Custer, who is telling the government in a congressional hearing, "You're cheating the Indians," and then sending us in to solve your problem.
Why can't the generals of today say the same thing, Ron?
Because they'll be retired.
Because they're in on it. They're in
General
on it.
Miley.
They're in
Some
on
of
it.
them have been outspoken. I mean,
No, they haven't. Not
what
the
about
force
Mattis?
generals.
General Mattis, people like him.
Yeah,
General
they
Miley?
fired him. They fired Mattis.
Oh yeah.
And
Jay,
then
before you
James,
leave-
look,
he was called Mad Dog Mattis because he was a maniac.
James,
And
look,
with
these
the media-
wars, James, these wars are a racket. A racket.
They are a racket.
A racket. Yeah. Well, okay. So Ron, you told me you never heard of this guy. His name is Smedley Butler. Smedley Butler.
Mhm.
And he wrote a book called War is a Racket. You never heard of him, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta,
No.
you gotta look him up. He fought in the Banana Wars with
Oh yeah,
in
down
the,
there
in,
in
the, in
Latin
the early in the early 20th century, and around that time, he was a Marine Corps guy. He got all these medals and stuff, and in like the early 30s, around there, he realized that this is just garbage, and he turned against the whole thing. And his name is Smedley Butler. He wrote a book called War is a Racket, and it rings very, very true.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
I know about the book, and it's fantastic, and what he said is absolutely true.
Oh, you read it? Really?
No,
read about Jeanette Rankin. Read about Congresswoman Jeanette Rankin. Well, Jason, what did you want to ask me real fast? I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah,
here,
I know
y'all.
you got to. I just wanted to ask you, being an educator, of former and current educator, what do you think of the cost of tuition these days? And what do you think of how much it costs to go to school to get an education?
high.
Because I did want to
It's
just
high,
share.
mainly due to government interference. It's very high, but there are
It's
many
100%
scholarships.
due to government interference.
Yeah, right. You're right. But
James, I just want to
also-
share the screen here. There you go.
But also,
This is a
you can
university. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
but there's ways for students to go to college for free. My first cousins, all three first cousins, and my own daughter went to college for free. Yep, totally free. They didn't pay any money. No.
Who paid them?
So I could do a video about the government. I could do a video about that.
That would be great.
My
Um,
my
Ron,
daughter.
okay,
Yeah, my daughter.
Can I interject for a minute?
well, Jay's got to run here. Just finish what you were saying, Jay, about your daughter.
Okay, all right.
No, my daughter went to college and got a master's degree and did not pay any tuition for 8 years.
Wow, that's
Can
impressive.
I interject now?
Yes, but
Yep.
Ronnie, I gotta go. See you later, my boy.
Well,
We'll
hold
see
on.
you, Jay.
Hold on,
Bye.
Dave,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Dave, before you go, let me say something before you go. You can get these scholarships if you try and you work hard, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. But they train Americans these days to grow up playing video games and not care about anything, and not really care about college and not care about education. So they are playing to people who are like that, and that's who they want.
Right.
That's
They
who
know
they
that
want
they
to
know that
become
those-
students.
Right. They know that those kids that are eating ramen noodles and playing video games are not going to research the scholarships. You're right. You're
Right,
about that.
and those students are the ones that get the federal loans.
Loans.
And what happened was, it was under the Obama administration. Obama said, we're gonna guarantee student loans no matter what the price is. So obviously with that, when that happened, the private colleges said, okay, then if you're going to guarantee a loan for every single student, we're going
They
to
jack
raise
the
the
rates
price.
up. They
We're going
jack
to
up
raise
the
the
tuition.
price. So once they raise the price, then okay, the federal government says we're gonna raise our loans, and then you have young kids who are stupid and grow up on video games taking out federal loans that they're never going to be able to pay back, and it's
Right.
it's a government college cooperation that they're
Oh,
doing, but
yeah,
the government
Boone,
has a huge play in it.
You're right. You're right. You actually are right about
they're not going to be able to pay it back because the economy and the job market is crap.
Yes.
You know,
Bye, Jay. Thanks for your time.
I know a guy that gets
Thank
See you
All right,
later.
thanks, James.
Go
Thanks for letting me
Saints.
join, James.
where
Thank you for coming. Let's do it again in
We
the
will.
near future. In the near future.
Bye, Jay.
The let's look at these tuition and fees. Now the grants.
So
Now the
let me just
grants.
share. Let me just
should-
show you where this is. Right. So
Grants
this
should
is
be for the people with academic merit, like what Ronnie was saying. The kids that apply themselves and get high grades and really work hard and study.
If it's a grant from the college, I don't agree if it's a grant from the government. I don't agree with anything from the government.
Why not? Let I mean,
I just told you why. I told you why.
the rich are going to pay for it, and under a progressive system anyway, if we have one. So
See, we're colliding here.
no, because you're
going off the tracks.
you're anti handout. I'm not. I think people, all Americans, should, like in Scandinavia.
I mean, the name handout is just like, isn't that a negative thing?
No, people, everybody should have an opportunity to make a good life
Everybody
for themselves.
will have an opportunity as long as the government gets out of the way.
You think the private sector is going to provide
Yes.
for everyone? You trust the corporate CEO.
Okay, so the corporate CEO, the corporations are a part of the government. A corporation is created by the government, right?
I thought it was the private sector.
To be a corporation, you have to apply to be a corporation from the government. So it's a part of the government.
Well, look at the multi-billionaire CEOs of the top corporations that are known to be scumbags.
Yeah, they're all scumbags. I don't disagree with you on that at all.
Yeah.
But they're in cahoots with the government.
No, then if they're in cahoots with the government, it has to be that good old two-party system with all the establishment corporate whore corrupt.
Yes. Yeah. That's what
Well,
it
James,
is. See? That's what it is, James. You're exactly right.
Before I click off this, though, I mean, 70 grand per year.
This stuff is just ridiculous. I mean, I believe it, but I don't want to see this shit, man. Get it out of here.
For sure, I agree, and that's why I wanted to mention to James there the previous screen that you were sharing, which showed electronic sending of funds, certain number of transactions, certain number of dollars. There was a piece of that article, I don't know if you have it open still, that mentioned that no Republicans voted for that bill.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Do you have that article, James? Do you know the one I'm talking about? And I'm only mentioning that because, kind of going back, you mentioned Bernie Sanders and the fact that he was able to get his base.
Well, you know what? The lower 98% is a lot better off with the Our Revolution people than the Democrat or Republican.
But he's a sellout.
That's his only drawback. He's got raisin balls.
I agree. He does definitely have raisin balls.
He has raisin balls.
But James, you were saying essentially that he was able to encourage his base to vote for Biden because he made some sort of agreements with Biden that he would kind of.
It's pretty sad that he did that.
Do some of the things that he wanted done, right? I don't have the facts in front of me regarding that statement.
I'm trying to bring this back up again because it was hard before because everybody was,
right.
People were.
While you're doing that, Ronnie,
to,
I've never had a Yingling. It's not available in my area. Is that a good beer?
Never had a Yingling?
I've heard that's a great beer from Pennsylvania.
It's America's oldest brewery.
Yeah, it's
James, you can get it, right?
Oh yeah, they're all.
Would that be called a macro?
I would think so. I was talking to a guy last night who was saying that he doesn't.
It
He
is
thinks it
now.
would be. He thinks it would be called a Mac. What's it called? A micro. But I mean, this is a big brewery, man. I don't. This
It
has
Here
used
to
to
we
be.
be
go.
called. It used to be called the micro, but I don't know about now because it's all over the country.
This is huge. Yeah, I don't think this is a
Yeah,
micro.
no, they went from micro to macro.
So this is where I was going at right here, right?
All right,
The new
which
tax law was part of the March 2021 American Rescue Plan, which passed with no Republican votes.
Wait, can I say something? What are they
Yep.
rescuing us from? What? I hated the name of this thing. What are they rescuing us from?
there's a
I-
lot to rescue.
I'm being rescued by the fucking federal government.
Well, I think, yeah, that's a great point, Ronnie, because if you start to look at some of the cause of inflation was the fact the government was giving money away as part of these rescue plans.
Well, that's not some of it. That's 90% of it.
But there could be supply chain shortages, which is creating.
That's why I left. That's why I left 10%. But I'm
Yeah.
saying 90. I'm saying 90% is because of that bullshit.
So, but I think, yeah, you start to look at. But this right here is interesting, right? President Biden's IRS is cracking.
But hold on. But
Oh,
what
sorry.
are they rescuing us from? From what?
I got
Because
it. Yeah,
because of their blunders.
you bring up a great point, right? Bailout, and if I may actually just.
And
I
this
have a
started
great-
with Trump. This started with Trump.
It did.
This
It
whole
absolutely
nonsense.
did.
It started with him.
And-
So I'm not here saying that Trump is a great guy. He's
Correct. And you can find positive and negative with everyone, I think. But to your point here, in specific regards to these funds that were distributed as part of the rescue plan, right?
The rescue plan.
What I'd like to ask, maybe just directly to James, and I really want his input on this one here. The government was able to extremely quickly distribute massive amount of funds to just about every person, right? Except the super rich. Just about everybody got some money from the
It is
government.
the super rich as well. They get it.
They got it too, right? But what I find interesting is that they were able to save the economy, as they said, by
They
giving
didn't
money.
save anything. They didn't
But
save
they
the
didn't.
economy. They destroyed
But that was what they were trying to do. But what I'm getting at is that if they're able to distribute funds that quickly at that massive of a scale to save the economy, air quotes, right? Then why can't we say, you know what? Let's put that same effort, which was an insane amount of money.
Mhm.
Let's put that same effort into curing cancer, as an example, right? Let's put that same effort into ending poverty.
So this question is for James, right?
Well, I'm just bringing that up because they were able to say, okay, we need to save the economy by giving everybody money so that you sort of inject money back into the system.
If it's for James, then I won't say anything. But
Well, I want to hear James's input first
well,
because I think what he
you
says
know,
will allow us to.
the stimulus checks in a situation that we're in now, the severity of it is like your uncle giving you $2 and telling you go spend it wisely. The whole, I'm against the whole idea of being too big to fail, where all these corporations keep on getting bailout after bailout that many of them don't pay back. I think you're right. I think a lot of problems can be solved with that same massive amount of money, and that includes trimming the military, which is like I hear.
it does very much.
No, wait a minute now.
It very much.
For the most part, I agree with you, James. But once you start
The
cutting back on
military budget is astronomical, and it needs to be wiped out.
What's astronomical?
The military budget.
I want to hear what BC had to say.
It's over 60% of the total budget.
It's
I mean,
completely retarded.
we're one of the biggest countries in the world, and you want to start cutting corners on our military?
No,
Really?
not cutting corners, cutting the whole thing. Not a corner, a fucking square.
Well, there's a lot of waste. He's talking about Ron.
Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, there was a time where they would spend $500 on a toilet seat. Okay, yeah, fine.
BC.
Bullshit like that. Yeah, I get it,
is a
man.
racket.
I mean,
the military is a racket. It's the biggest
gotta get down to
program
brass
in
tacks.
the
And it's
history of
like,
the world.
yeah,
It's the
okay,
biggest government
there's,
program in the history of
I
the
get
world.
there's
And
inflation.
we're
All
supposed
right,
to
great.
support the
But
troops.
when you're
Nah,
spending
man.
$500 on
Nah,
policy,
I'm not doing it. I'm not
hey,
supporting
it's
the
no
troops.
big thing. I mean, well, it's a big thing. You gotta be realistic. Let's get a bunch of these toilet seats from Home Depot or Lowe's or something, where you can get them for whatever the cost is that you can buy them from there. But I mean, when you really start cutting budget of the military,
You gotta
how
do it, BC.
how
BC, you gotta do it,
how-
man. You gotta do it. You gotta
how
do
do
it.
I put this? How safe do you want to sleep at night with our military being cut the way it is?
The military's gotta go. Gotta go. We don't fucking need it.
Well,
I'm
we
saying it right
don't
now.
need
I don't care if that's not PC. I don't care if I'm not a patriot. That's the truth.
we don't need 800 American bases around the world and
We
occupying other
don't
people's.
need recruiters going into poor, impoverished communities and high schools and recruiting these poor little kids to go off and fight retarded wars. That's what we don't need.
Yeah, that's great. It's true. I agree. And these countries don't want United States military
To even
occupying
be there. Yeah.
their country. Why do we need 800, 900 bases worldwide? Why do we need that?
Well, we don't. So the four of us here, we don't need it, but the American empire needs it, and that's why it's there.
All right, Jason, you want
Yeah,
to
there's a
show?
lot of information on this. I'm just trying to get.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I haven't forgotten you, Craig. Craig Svensson.
Oh, yes, Craig.
I think that's insane. That image of an Indian Native American woman is not offensive on the Land O'Lakes butter package.
Well, it is offensive. It is offensive.
Why?
I'm
Why is
offended by
it?
it.
It's very nice. It's a very nice image of
If I see an Indian woman, I'm highly offended by anybody who's Indian. I don't want them on my butter.
Why not? What do you
kidding,
want
man.
on your butter?
You can't tell I'm kidding.
What do you want? Elmer
He's
Fudd?
kidding. It's
You want
satire.
Elmer Fudd on your butter?
I want Elmer Fudd with a gun on my butter.
Yosemite Sam? I mean, but it's a pleasant Indian woman image. It's not.
James, could you really not tell I was kidding?
It's not a caricature. You're being sarcastic when you're saying that.
satire.
But
yeah.
you couldn't tell that.
See, Ronnie,
No,
I
thought you were serious.
Ronnie has a career in acting because he had us all fooled, right? He's like, I don't want an Indian on my butter. I mean, the way it's
Jason
like,
wasn't fooled. Jason, you weren't fooled.
well, see, that's the thing. It's tough because if we were all sitting in a room together, which, my goodness, wouldn't that be amazing? Imagine the discussions we could have in person. But emotion, I think, and body language plays a big part in communicating with people, and you can't read their body language when they're on a screen.
I think it is too. I have what's called dry humor, and a lot of people can't pick up on that.
Yeah,
and I think that
like,
it makes. I
like
think that makes
dry
me a lot of enemies.
sake. Yeah. Well,
so if we look at this, right, and I'll just say that my company that I work for and the previous companies I work for, anytime they sell into the government's got a lot of money to spend, right? You look at their procurement budget. Back to what BC was saying.
But Jason, why do they have a lot of money to spend? Because they steal it from us.
Well, because it's been allotted to them by Congress, right? They say here's how much we need. Well, yeah, I would love to see, and this is what I would absolutely love to see, and I doubt it'll ever happen in my lifetime, is an itemized budget of the amount of taxes that I paid and exactly what that money was used for.
They won't do that.
You'll never see that, right? Never see that. Wouldn't that be nice, BC? I mean, you get a paycheck.
Yeah,
You might be able to
like
get
the
it from
FICA,
the local government,
the federal, the state.
It
Yeah.
might be
Local.
possible.
It's like, what is this money going for, man? Come on. I mean,
it might be possible.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to put anybody on this panel on blast, but I'll put it to you like this. We all got our own bills to pay. Jason, you got your bills to pay. Ronnie, you got your bills to pay. James, you got your bills to pay. I've got my bills to pay.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see where all this freaking money is going to. Man.
Now.
And it's like if we gotta show receipts and whatnot for what we're spending. Hey, come on. I like to see a little something what you guys are spending on over there, man. Come on, man. Who do you guys really work for? It's supposed to be us.
Have bills to pay, BC? Does the government have bills to pay?
Huh?
Just like all of us, does the government have bills to pay?
Oh yeah.
They do, but they don't pay them. They don't pay them, and they get away with it. And they run up trillions of dollars in debt. But we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
They're allowed to do so. This is kind of back to the EPA
It's a
statement.
racket. The government is a criminal syndicate. They're gangsters. That's what they are. And
if you
the more respect that we give them, the worse off that we are. So we should not respect these people. They're scumbags.
Absolutely. They claim to be,
and the whole insurrection thing, the January 6th, BS. Those clowns went in there and they did bullshit. They didn't do anything. But the whole corporate media wants to make it out as it's an insurrection. I wish it was an insurrection, but it wasn't. These people, man, I consider them heroes, right, for what they did. They're a bunch of morons, and it's sad that they're rotting in jail. But at least they're taking the initiative a little bit to fight back against these tyrants and these scumbags, man. These fucking people are horrible. And the fact that they went in there and disrespected them like that, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Did you see this little cartoon somebody sent me?
I remember gas was $2.19 a gallon.
I just paid here in
When
Washington
was it $2.19 a gallon? A year ago?
Yeah, on January 6th.
Oh, okay. So this little cartoon is saying
I just closed it. Let me get it
it's
open
bringing
again.
it's bringing to light what actually matters to you as a person, because you actually buy gas, right? You don't care about some so-called insurrection because it doesn't affect you. That's what the thing is saying. Everybody pays gas, and that's why Biden is so low in the polls right now, because people are really suffering. People are really suffering right now. Everybody is. Like it's bad. It's really bad. I'm suffering. I'm fucking suffering, man. And
I'm sorry to hear that, Ronnie. And
I
anyone
am.
that's
I am.
on the panel, yeah. And I think that suffering goes beyond just putting food on the tables. There's emotional suffering that's massively happening
Well, that's
on a
true, too,
massive
yeah.
scale, which shouldn't be overlooked, right? Your mind is your most important asset.
I'm just talking about economics, and I am suffering, man. And I'm not saying that it would be better if Trump won, because it might not have been. Like I told you, this whole thing started with Trump's nonsense CARES Act that they passed in March of 2020. That thing was a $2 trillion boondoggle for the airlines, and too big to fail. So Trump doesn't get off over here at all. He started the whole fucking thing. He could have not signed that bill.
Which bill is this? Sorry,
The CARES Act.
the CARES Act. Yes.
March 2020. That's where this whole nonsense came from, man.
So I figured I'd just share this, and then we could move on to the next subject. This is a bit old, about 10 years old, but it's probably fairly relevant. The annual budget for the military is $610 billion.
Here we go.
This is how much they need and what I think is interesting too, these are the programs that spend more than $1.5 billion, right?
Jason, can you pull up what the U.S. pays as a GDP percentage for the military as compared to all other countries? And it's not even close. Not even close. The U.S. is a war machine.
3%.
No, it's more than 3%. But whatever it is.
So this is saying that, well, this is what they're saying. The total percent of GDP, we pay 3.7. The next one is less than half at China.
Right, less than half.
But you look at, yeah, percent of global spending. I think that's even more interesting. 39%. So just under 50% of the total world's spending on military comes from one country.
Isn't that disgusting?
And another thing that's interesting about this country too, and James would agree, we have the most incarcerated people in this country than anywhere
I
else in the
agree,
world,
too.
and it's not even close, right?
I also agree with that.
Number of inmates.
That's another disgusting.
Look at all the jail cells being taken up by
And how many
marijuana.
of those people? How many of those people are nonviolent drug offenders?
Nonviolent marijuana cases. Ridiculous. It's insane.
Our prisons are
600
flooded.
God, this stupid thing. 639 people per 100,000 are incarcerated.
Is it like that in Canada? Is it like
Let's
that
go to
in
Canada here. Let's
in
just
Switzerland?
expand the statistics. See if I can find. Canada's not even listed.
And there's a lot of bad things about this country. There's a lot of bad things. I'm not some ultra patriot, but I'm also not a leftist.
I think the prisons are so packed because that's free slave labor for many of the corporations. Having these.
Well, it's also, you know what it also is.
Inmates.
Every prison is in a congressional district, and they give jobs to the correctional officers. So
Yeah.
they want that in their district.
Privatized. What about these privatized prisons and politicians that are connected with it, like Lindsey Graham?
Lindsey
At
Graham.
one time was in
Fucking
league.
What? He's the turtle guy, right? Lindsey Graham.
No, that's Mitch McConnell's
McConnell.
turtle. Oh, speaking of disgusting crooks, these mega churches, Ronnie Simpson, these TV evangelists of mega churches that don't pay taxes.
Do you think they're worse than Mitch McConnell?
No, they're both
Equally the same.
they're both different color feathers of the same bird. This guy.
Now this guy, I know, Joel Osteen. He actually has a nice message. If you watch his show, he has a nice message.
Yeah, he tells people God wants you to
could
be
never
rich.
do that. Hold on though. Mitch
He
McConnell
says
could never do what this guy does.
he doesn't do anything for the poor. He's a fake phony Christian.
All right. If he does anything, he makes you feel good. Mitch McConnell is not going to do
About
that.
it. You know, they found $600,000 in cash in the wall hidden.
I believe it. I believe it.
But
But
Joel
okay.
Osteen's
So
building.
how many billions of dollars of tax money has this clown fucking stolen?
No, I'm not saying he's any better, but
At
Joel,
least Joel Osteen, he does make you feel good. He does.
he makes
I've
you
wa-
feel good. But
I've watched his show before.
You bring
But
up a
what
good
about-
point.
But what about the people who were homeless from the hurricane? He refused to open up the doors of his mega church.
All right, James. All I'm saying is you watch his show, and he does have a nice message.
Because you like him because he is a real hardcore capitalist.
He's not.
He
says
hoards
nothing.
millions
He says nothing about capitalism.
He hoards millions of donations from suckers. He doesn't pay a dime in tax.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm saying that Mitch McConnell is way worse.
Oh, Mitch McConnell is a demon. He's horrible.
Okay, so let's give this guy a C+, and Mitch McConnell gets an F. Is that fair? Is that fair?
But what I would like to say, and I have had a chance to speak to several people about this, and this is where it gets rather interesting, because church and religion, it's the only institution on the planet where you pay what you feel it's worth to you.
You can pay whatever you want, and you can
pay whatever you want.
You can
right?
pay nothing.
And I've been at some churches and some sermons where they start out by saying, "Okay, we went over the budget at our last meeting."
That's the wrong place to go. If they're starting it out by saying that, you shouldn't be there.
For sure. And I'm sitting there saying, "Okay, this is a long time ago, but this is at a very interesting church in Seattle. I don't know if they're still around, called Mars Hill. Kind of the guy was doing some weird things, but anyway, he's the one that I sort of locked on to this message that church is really the only institution and the only business. This is really like a business, right? That you pay what you feel you should pay or what you can pay, right? You can't go into a grocery store and buy a gallon of milk for $1, right? This is not going to happen. You got to pay the price on the shelf. If you don't pay it, they won't sell it to you. It's just flat out, right? But you get into an argument and kind of what Ronnie S. was going at here, and I have to agree with him. He does have a good message. What he's doing is, and I think James would agree, he is preying on the weak to give him their money by giving them a feel-good message, right? And he talks to people in such a way that it makes it feel as if Joel Osteen is talking directly to you, right? It feels to be a very personal message. He has an extreme talent. Let's not deny that. His father was also a pastor, nowhere near the success or level of wealth that he has created, though. And I think that you start to look at this, James, he is the CEO of the Joel Osteen empire, right? And again, he's kind of preying on the weak to give him their money. Now, what's interesting about Joel Osteen, I think it's about 50-50. Half the people you talk to will say the guy's a crook. The guy doesn't believe in Jesus. The guy is not speaking the gospel. The guy does not represent what Christianity is. And then the other half would probably say, no, the guy has a great message. Oh, we got the stogie. Let's get BC. Let me stop sharing here. I want to see that stogie. Look at that thing. Give that man a cigar.
There you go.
Look at that, BC. What does that say?
How's the pork loin out there?
It's looking pretty good. I'll take you out there right now.
Yeah.
BC, does that now, cigarette smoke I can tolerate, but that cigar smoke, that's kind of harsh, man. You got a window open or something?
Oh, no. But I've been running in and out here in this space here to the grill. So then I've got a fan right here.
Okay.
An exhaust fan in the hallway. So if it gets that bad, I just kick that boy arm and get this going. So
that's a nice cigar.
Let's check out that pork loin. I know it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So check it
now,
out.
If Joel Osteen was really a man of God preaching God's word, would he be a mega church? If he was helping the poor and he was giving to the poor and he was doing God's work, he wouldn't be a mega church, and neither would any of the others. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Now, Joel Osteen, at
Look at
least,
that pork loin looks good.
At least he makes you feel good about yourself.
Dang, that looks nice, BC.
All right.
Right, James. Could you agree with that?
No, he's a charlatan. He's like a car dealer. He's
good at it, though. He's good at it.
Oh yeah, no, he's good at what he does. Of course, yeah.
Now, have you ever watched the whole show?
Come on.
No, because he sickens me with that smile of his. I never watched it.
If you watch a whole show, you might walk away feeling better about yourself.
Yeah, hold on. I wanted to focus on that pork loin. It's like shooting your load. Having sex with
BC, can we see
with a swimsuit model or something. Anyway, saw the pork loin. We didn't see it very long.
We got BC's belly on the screen. BC, what is that picture in the back? Scarface?
That's Scarface. One that's on my
Can you
shoulder,
focus in on
Scarface.
that? Can you do a focus on that?
And gotta give you a quick look. I've got 3 pictures up here. Okay. This is Joe Pesci from Casino.
Oh, cool.
Right here. Then you've got Scarface right here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Tony Montana.
Then you've got the scene from Goodfellas right here.
Nice.
Great movie.
Yeah, that's when they first get the cocaine connection.
I think it's the guns, but either way, yeah. So yeah, got Casino, Scarface, and Goodfellas. Only thing I need left is The Godfather.
Very, very cool, BC. I like that.
I'm
Very
talking
nice.
about the first one. Get it?
Collectibles. Now, the person who wanted to do a live, not live, but do a video chat with me late last night while I was tired and trying to sleep. He told me he definitely wants to be on the show. I sent him the link, and
Was it Goldsmith?
no, the other man, Eric Fraunfelter.
Eric
Yeah,
Eric
he told me,
Fraudfelter.
yeah, I want to be on the show. I want to be on the show. Send me the link. Send me the link. Well,
Eric Fraudfelter is a fraud.
I saw. Oh, this scumbag, Elon Musk, with his fake Tesla. That's not Tesla technology, you know, because his cars have been very problematic.
Now, Elon Musk came out and said that the government is nothing but a monopolized version of violence. And I don't know if you guys heard this. It is a very, very interesting thing that somebody of his stature came out and said. Did you hear that, Jason?
I did not hear that. I'm going to try to find it. He essentially said that the
He
government
said that
is.
the government is nothing but the biggest corporation with a monopoly on violence. That's what he said. That's almost his whole words. And for somebody of his stature to come out and say that, that's amazing.
You know, if you look at it, right?
He
pull that article
exploited.
There
There it is.
for you.
There it is right
He
there.
used the
Look at
word-
that, James. James, look at this. Look at this right here. What is
No,
it?
he used the word, the good name of Tesla to make
No,
problematic electric vehicles that have
Jason,
astronomical prices.
Jason, go back up.
He's
Just
a scumbag.
leave the headline.
Well,
James,
without
James.
government,
James, can you read that? James?
without government, the poor will be starving out in the
James,
street.
can you read what it says right here?
No, because I believe in big government and socialism. That's
Without
why.
government is the biggest corporation with a monopoly on violence, where you have no recourse. He's 100% correct.
Well, he's
There's
lucky
no way
he's not paying his fare.
There's no way you can say anything against
He's
that.
lucky. He's lucky. He's not paying his fair share in taxes.
Yeah,
And,
whatever.
you know,
He pays his share. He pays whatever.
Well, he's
Hey.
part of that 1%. So I mean,
He pays something. He pays. You know, you pay your share. What the fuck is fair? What does fair even mean?
fair is what Eisenhower
Jason, what is it?
what
is a fair
Eisenhower
share?
had
What is it? Eisenhower.
in 1950s. They should
So-
the middle class shouldn't be carrying a tax burden.
So what did Eisenhower have? Like 90%?
Yeah,
What it was?
yeah. They're still rich. The
Jason,
motherfuckers
I
are
want
still
to
rich after
hear
they
your
pay it.
input on this one.
You have compassion for the filthy rich.
I have compassion for myself.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot-
have compassion for the little guy. Sure, the middle class.
Okay, so if you go to the gas station, right, and you see a guy sitting outside and he asks you for $1, what do? You give him $1? If you have so much compassion, or you tell him to get a job?
Well, the guy, you know what? There are winos who take the money
Yeah, sure.
and
there are.
spend it on crack, booze, you know.
But they still need the money to buy the crack and to buy the booze. You don't feel bad
Yeah,
for
but-
them?
But what? No, the people that are addicts. No, I don't feel bad for addicts
Why?
because it's self-induced self-destruction. They're doing it to themselves.
Who do you think the government is helping with
They're-
the tax
they're-
money? You
they're
don't think
adults.
you think they're helping good people, or they're helping the winos
No,
and
you
the
know what they're
crackheads?
doing? The government under the Democrat Party is throwing poor people.
Only under the Democrat Party, not the Republican.
Well, Republicans don't help the poor. They
do.
wanted to get rid
It's the
of
same
all
thing.
social
The two
programs.
parties are the same thing.
The
Nothing is changing with this. Nothing
Democrats
is
throw
changing.
people. The Democrats throw people a few crumbs, like my grandfather used to say.
The Democrats try to act like they're doing a big deal. The Republicans try to act like
Yeah, that's why
like they're
I
not. But
support
they're both doing
our,
the same thing. They're both
I
doing the same
support
exact
our revolution, the independent, true progressives. That's who I support.
So, Jason, you go to the gas station and you see a guy asking you for $1. What do you do?
That's a great question. In fact, I might even tell you that on a much broader scale, I used to go into work every day, but since the pandemic, working from home.
What, the shit-demic? The bullshit-demic?
Exactly.
No, the virus is real. It's real.
All right, anyway,
But
continue.
so I
That's
used to work.
because all you constitutionalists just want to party and spray your aerosol
All right,
drop.
hold on. All right, continue, Jason.
All right.
I like that, James.
Let's
Do
not
that
get
again.
Yeah, well, that's what I do because I don't have a mask,
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I used to go to downtown Seattle every day, and it's unfortunate, having been born here, spent a lot of my time here.
You were born in Seattle?
Born in Seattle, to see the city just kind of slipping away, right? And there's so much homelessness, and there's so much poverty, and there's just a lot of open drug
I'll
use.
be right back, guys.
They never
no
show
problem.
poverty. They never show poverty in like the Pacific Northwest. I mean, they always show like lumberjacks and
Yeah.
Sasquatches and
They show you the best of the best, but we have a
Mount-
real homeless problem, a real
Mount
poverty
Rainier.
problem, open drug use.
Dr. Fraser Crane is not from Seattle. He's from New Jersey. Kelsey Grammer.
Oh yeah, Kelsey, he's a good guy.
No, Kelsey
Yeah.
Grammer's from New Jersey. Fraser
Yeah.
Crane's from Seattle.
Fraser Crane is from Seattle. But anyway, and Niles. But
Yeah, I don't like to give money to people. I don't do it because you're enabling that. There are programs out there. There is social welfare. There is help, and you're just furthering their drug addiction and drug habit.
these homeless people, I know for a fact, these homeless people, the poor, there are social programs if they live the straight and narrow.
Correct.
And they clean up their act. There are social programs that will give them a good start to survive and live a clean, safe, healthy life if they follow the rules and live the straight and narrow, take the straight and narrow, and don't do drugs, spend all their money on bad habits, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But the ones that refuse to do the right thing and straighten out their lives, I would not be an enabler and waste my donations. I'd rather give it, like I helped this Philippine girl with a little cute little boy, 1 year.
I saw that picture.
Yeah, 1.5 years old. They're poor. Her brother is a fisherman, a commercial fisherman, and she does what she has to do to survive in the Philippines. And they had a typhoon that took out half their house, and the little baby, the little boy was crying his eyes out because his favorite toy was gone. So
Yeah.
I sent her money and baby clothes. Her baby clothes were, the boy's clothing was gone too. So I sent her some money to buy new baby clothes for him and a new toy. I mean,
Yeah.
I rather give directly to somebody who appreciates some money to help them out. You know what I mean? Like somebody honest and they're just falling on hard times. That's the kind of charity I believe in, when the money is going directly to the person
Correct.
who's having a crisis.
You're absolutely correct, because I think hello, Bart Robertson. Robinson, sorry.
Bart is here. Oh, hi, Bart. We don't go out too much. We rather eat in Georgia. Yeah, because it's expensive going to restaurants. Come on, especially a family. I mean,
My brother-in-law goes out to lunch after church, and family of four, it's easily $100. And that's not getting dessert or anything like that, right? That's just ordering a meal and maybe a Coke.
Yeah. Well, the most I do is I'll have Chinese food, delivered, takeout, or I might have a good pizza delivered, or I'll take a walk around the corner and get a burrito at the Mexican takeout, or I'll get some Thai food to take out. And once in a while, if I'm in the mood, and if it's not too cold out, I'll walk 4 blocks and I'll have the all-you-can-eat sushi and sashimi. But as far as going to a restaurant with atmosphere, which to me is meaningless, I'd rather have big portions of quality food than to have atmosphere. A lot of these chicks, a lot of these girls, they got to have atmosphere, right? Why? Because they're not paying. Some sucker's paying for it.
Well, not only that, James, but if you look at, let's go pre-pandemic, because it's a little hard.
I love Gothic. Yeah.
It's a little hard to quantify things during the pandemic, but pre-pandemic, majority of women would spend their money on clothes, on beauty products, on getting their hair done. And they have to, they want to be in the most happening place, because why do all that? If you're just going to be in a restaurant with only two other people, it's peacocking, right? They gotta get their return on investment, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, usually a restaurant with atmosphere, where the restaurant critics of newspapers go and give their how many stars they want to give them.
Yeah.
You got high prices and you got small portions. So here's the portion and here's the price, the cost. Because why? Because there's an atmosphere, and they might have a new menu. Every time there's a new menu in a restaurant, the prices are higher. So there's the menu talks like the liquor websites talk. They play the violin, they get overly dramatic about the meal. It's salesmanship. And they go on
Absolutely.
and on and on. Bullshit. Who's dogging out? Hey, Nina.
Hello, Nina. Happy New Year, Nina.
You already Happy New Year from the ocean state of Rhode Island.
What are you drinking, James? What's in that glass?
Oh, a Samuel Smith oatmeal stout.
Oh, you did that on a Wild Card Wednesday.
So this was the last bottle in my refrigerator. Hey, Sid. Sid is our official.
Hello, Sid. Let's ring the bell.
Sid is our official male rights activist. Red Pill Talk Sid. Gotta ring the red bell for Red Pill Talk Sid. Hey, Sid, I had to block that mosquito that you can't whack, the troll. That troll is back every Sunday. I had to block him several times.
East Coast Liquor Reviews. Hello.
Nina's here. What's up, Nina?
Is it dogging down the same as doggy style?
Doggy
all
style.
Right, Sid. You're my you are definitely my red pill alpha male, anti-feminism. What did I say before?
Red pill, red.
Yeah, what did I say before? Men's male rights activists.
You might notice something behind me, James, that I haven't seen in weeks.
Sun.
The sun. It has been the absolute worst winter. My goodness. We just had a foot of snow that melted, and all that snow melting is causing every river to crest and flooding everywhere. Sun behind me, the pass, all passes at Blewett, White, Snoqualmie, and Stevens have all been closed for the last 3 days. They got 4 feet of snow in one day. How do you keep up with that if you get 4 feet of snow in one day?
Wow. I mean, that's a skier. That's a skier's or snowmobile owner's paradise.
Correct. But could you imagine, right? So you kind of split Washington State into two halves. You have Eastern Washington and Western Washington. You got to cross the mountain range that runs right between it practically. And all those people that could be stranded in Eastern Washington they just can't get over here because the passes have been closed because they just can't plow the roads and get them ready. They said that it's supposed to stop snowing like today, so they might reopen tomorrow. It's going to take them a full day of digging out just to get those roads reopened again. Heck of a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I will be right back, James. Give me one moment here.
Okay. Hold on. He will be back. Okay. All right. I just want to thank everyone, viewers and participants and people leaving commentary for joining Keto Kings Barbecue Banter, a progressive discussions production, open topic shows, anything goes. Open topic, multi-topic shows. So there's no censorship. You can talk about anything you want, unless you really get under my skin and bust my balls, like a certain someone that was here before. So
Yeah.
you're funny. The saccharine sweet smile of a charlatan with the personality of a sleazy car dealer. He's a carnival pitchman. A carnival pitchman. Let's see. What did Sid say? Yeah, the Russian bot. Yeah, well, I haven't. I tried another sushi place that I didn't like as well as the first one. I'm going to go back to the original one. And I didn't do any live stream there because someone told me, why don't I go to different restaurants? But I only like to go and eat food that I like, and I only like to go to all you can eats, unless I'm getting takeout. If I'm getting takeout, it's usually not expensive. So I'm not going to spend a fortune just to do live streams that would entertain people. It's just like people who do craft beer reviewing or top shelf liquor reviewing that have to bring a different product every week and spend a fortune on what? Are they making money? Are they getting paid from YouTube? Most people are not. One person I know is, but that person has a huge following, and there's nothing wrong with it. But and also depending on what part of the country you're in. I'm in the Northeast. Liquor stores are prices are expensive here. So
Well, I mean, okay, as far as that goes, I get what you're saying about the expensiveness of it. I totally get it. Now, I'll give you an example from my end of it. Okay, now I know you. Don't get me wrong, James. So I'm gonna say it. If it comes out wrong, I'm sorry. So don't get me the wrong way if it comes out wrong. But I think you know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, I know you do Ron's show like on Wednesdays and Fridays. Awesome, sweet. And you got your progressive discussion channel like this and so on and so forth.
Right.
Okay. Now, I don't know how you view yourself. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna talk about that. But from my end of it, yeah. Am I generally on Ron shows on Wednesday and Fridays? Usually, yeah. And I'm pretty much known for a beer review guy. Okay. And I gotta agree with you to a certain extent. Like, okay, if you go to these liquor stores, yeah, they are expensive. If you're talking about like these, I don't want to call them mom and pop stores because it's not really a mom and pop store, but you've got these guys that own these liquor stores that are not actually mom and pop.
independently owned, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, independently owned liquor stores.
Yeah, exactly. For a lack of a better way to describe it. Yeah, exactly. And now this one in particular I go to, yeah, it's independently owned. Now the prices are a little bit more jacked up by a couple of bucks or more, depending on what it is. And okay, fine, I'll do that store sparingly. But that one is I'm paying for the convenience because it's on my way home. Now, if I can help it, I go to this place called Discount Drinks. Now I can get these beers and so on and so forth for my show. A couple of bucks or more less than the independently owned stores. And it's like I know I mentioned it before, but that's why I only do 2 shows a week on my channel of reviewing beers. One, because of the cost. And two, twice a week, it's like if I could explain this right, I hope I'm going to, where it's like, okay, Wednesdays and Saturdays, I do my shows, but they're spaced out far enough to the point where, okay, we watch BC's beer reviews on Wednesday. Then I come out on Saturday. Oh, that's right. He has another one on Saturday. Let's watch it. Where it's far enough to where you almost forget it to a certain extent. But when I post it, it's there and kind of refreshes you. Hey, he does the show twice a week. But, it's because of the cost. So.
Well, Ronald's cost is reasonable because the liquor in southern Louisiana is reasonable. It's not expensive. He finds a lot of great bargains, and I'm happy for him that that's the situation. But here in the Northeast, it's expensive, and I don't look. I could do wild cards because a wild card is a wild card. You can bring whatever you have.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel like bringing. But the themes I can't do. I mean, I can't.
Well, especially James, if the themes get extremely specific, as in saying, and I've seen this on someone else's channel.
Yeah,
like,
Jesse, bumpy road. Yeah.
Well, that's true, but I think BC there's a Bourbon County. BC is like, I've got a 2020 bottle, and they're like, no, it's got to be 2021. Like it's getting so specific. Like you almost have to just say, you're diluting your ability to get it. Is like one or two people on YouTube might have that beer to review with you, right?
Yeah, and that's if you're able to get that certain edition. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with Jason. Yeah. So
yeah, like if it's a certain imported German wheat beer, but a specific kind, I mean, like Jesse of New Hampshire, Bumpy Road, used to get really, really suspicious. Not suspicious, specific in his themes, where if you didn't get exactly the theme, you can't come on the show. That's how strict it was. Ronald's themes are not complex. They're not difficult, but they're themes. And to be honest with you, I'm not much of a drinker. I get heartburn. I get headaches. I get drunk fast. So
wait, James. Yeah, let's. I'll take you out to dinner. You're gonna have one beer and you're done, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
BC, you're on your own.
Yeah, I was never much of a drinker. I just happen to, if I'm thirsty, I happen to appreciate the flavor of a good wine or a craft beer.
Yeah.
But I'll have one. Maybe in the summertime, I'll go for a second one. But I usually I space everything out. That's why a 6-pack of porters or stouts or IPAs will last me a week. A 6-pack it'll be stretched out because I'm not a booze hound. I never was. But other people can do it if they want to do shows and spend all kinds of money and get drunk on the air. They can do it. It's their,
It's their prerogative. Yeah.
they're adults.
James,
They're adults. They can
I'm
do
being
whatever.
told that my face is frozen on the screen here. I'm not sure. I might.
Yeah, you are frozen.
Yeah, that's
Your
weird.
lips are not moving.
Let me, and I think Ronnie S wants to come back. Let me exit out of StreamYard and I'll come right back.
Well,
That might
if
fix it.
he promises not to constantly interrupt and play devil's advocate, he can come back. He just has to let everybody speak. And Jason Cleveland hasn't been doing this. Hasn't had time to do the print screens that we originally planned on doing because of all the talking before, with the military budget and all the
Yeah.
the right wing
So I'm
what do you call libertarian constitutionalist libertarian debating, coming
sure.
from yeah.
So let me do this, James. Go ahead. Let Ronnie.
I really, this is a progressive show. I don't want to debate a difference of opinion because I know that capitalism and corporations have been a failure for the 98% of the population since day one. And I know they're greedy scumbags. They should pay their fair share in taxes, but they don't. And the 98% always gets fucked under capitalism since day one.
Okay,
FDR,
is that better, James? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine. FDR, great man, with a lot of compassion, but I think the only reason why he was so progressive and had all this compassion is because he originally came from a wealthy family in New York State. He was the governor of New York, but because of polio, because he became disabled in a wheelchair, which he cleverly kept a secret. His disability made him progressive and compassionate. You see, like if it's not your problem, usually a lot of people, sadly, don't care.
Right.
Unless it hits home, and I just don't want to have to. I don't have to raise my voice and argue and deal with devil's advocates. Why? Because you're middle class. Your tax rate is way too high. I would bet. I would guarantee your tax rate is way too high. You're not wealthy. At least I don't think you are. You're not part of the top 2%. Yeah, why aren't they? Why aren't they? Why did the DNC screw a man that would have done a ton of good for the 98%, Bernie Sanders? Why did the DNC screw him over twice? Okay, and choose the establishment corporate Democrat, in this case, Joe Biden. They picked him. The first time around, they picked Hillary Clinton, right? They nominated her.
Well, I think we've talked about this before, James. It's the super delegates are the ones that kind of screwed Bernie Sanders too, right?
Well, the Democratic Party they do take huge campaign contributions and they owe huge favors. I mean, they are part of the establishment. The independent progressives are like socialists. They take donations from everyday citizens. Bernie Sanders did not take any huge contributions from any corporate entities during his campaigns, and you saw he had legions of people show up at his rallies, compared to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and even Joe Biden. Joe Biden has said in his speeches more than once that he's a capitalist. I didn't exactly feel warm and fuzzy to hear him say that.
So, James, do you want to talk about online car buying? Maybe
online car buying. Oh, yes, you found some interesting articles about that. That's right.
Well, guess what, guys?
They did steal it from
Are you
Bernie.
out of here, BC?
No, I'm not out of here, but that pork loin is gone.
Oh, let's
Cooked
see.
it up to
Should I-
150.
Can we see it, or is it too
Yeah,
late?
wait. Let's. Yeah, the star of the show is the pork loin.
The
Yeah, I'm about
Sasquatch?
to show you right now.
Yeah, and of course your smoker grill is the superstar.
And of course
There,
it's dark
everybody.
out. I'm like thinking, wait.
Oh, you brought it in. Oh, I didn't know you brought it in already.
Wow.
You should have told me. I'm gonna go get. Yeah. You can interrupt the politics and tell me you're gonna go get the food.
Yeah, so that's looking good. Cooked
Yeah, I
the
know, but
potato.
I
I'm gonna let that rest for a little bit. So
I like to see your smoker grill too. Yeah, you gotta let meat rest.
yeah,
Beef, at least 30 minutes, they say. Maybe more.
Well, I do turkeys a lot, and I always Gordon Ramsay. I learned this many years ago. He says that if you cook a turkey, to let it rest half as long as you cooked it, and it'll cool down, but it'll keep it extremely moist, and that's what gravy and all these other things are for, because you might not be serving piping hot turkey.
Yeah, well, my sister did a good thing. She bought her the new stove she got has a convection feature, which uses steam with circulation of hot air, in a circle, which is convection, circulating hot air. And hey, how come I can't?
Do you want me to stop sharing? Maybe that's why.
I went to go for it, and the only button that appeared was remove. I wanted to go back to doing the car app purchasing, the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me know
because
if that
we
comes up
spent
here.
too much time, talking about all this right-wing libertarian fucking capitalism shit. I wanted to do a lot of consumer talk. All right. Okay. Now we're bringing up the car apps that claim to eliminate the middleman of the car.
Yeah. Let me actually. I think I might have gone a little ahead here. Let me see if I can't open a new tab here. Yeah. Okay. And we'll just do Vroom. Vroom. This is one of the popular online. So back to your point earlier, James, I think maybe 3 months ago, just like everything, right? You can get your groceries delivered. Amazon has pretty much made it easily accessible to get anything you need delivered same day for most items. You don't even need to leave your house now to buy a car, right? You could buy your car entirely online. That's what they're claiming, right? Or you can sell your car, right? So I can enter in my license plate and my state, and it'll tell me what the car is worth. I can click on a few buttons. Vroom will show up and deliver the car or buy the car from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, James, let's just explore the experience, and then we'll see the bad side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the negativity. So what kind of car would you like to buy today, right?
Okay.
Let's just make this
If,
it's interactive too.
If money, if I had the money to take the plunge, I would probably make practical, logical, wise choice and get what my sister has, a Honda Accord, a 4-door.
All right.
Yeah, I would say,
Honda Accord, right?
yeah, Honda Accord sedan.
This is very interactive. Excuse you. And because we're shopping online, it doesn't matter where we're located. They'll deliver the car to us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love how they say great deal, right? Great features.
Wow.
So how much do you want to spend, James? Because we really haven't done any filtering here, have we? Right? So what kind of money do you want to spend?
I want my priorities would be.
How much do you want to spend? Between 5,000 and 10,000, maybe?
I don't know. It depends on what comes with the vehicle. I want power seats, power windows, climate control, AC, automatic. Well, they all come automatic these days.
Here are the popular features you can search from.
Yeah, I want the basics, basic luxuries of technology. Yeah, I mean, I don't want no special stereo system. I don't want.
How much do you want to spend? Let's just limit. Let's just minimum.
Okay, what
by the price?
Well, did they mention what the basic Honda Accord comes with?
I'm sure we can click onto it and see it, but I think price is really all that matters. So maybe 5,000, 10,000. Jesus.
Well, he keeps interrupting. He keeps interrupting every time I open my mouth, and you know, I'm trying to defend progressive socialist qualities, and he keeps defending conservatives, you know, and capitalism, and that's not what I'm about. You know, I'm not gonna get into a shouting match and compromise. I don't like when the Democrats try to do bipartisan compromising. And
what zip code are you in, James?
07020. I mean, my hometown was 07644. All right, 07020.
So this will cost about $1,000 to deliver. So this car is $24,995 plus $995 delivery. Here's all of the information: the engine, the transmission, the gas mileage, how big it is, the features it has.
I remember when a new Cadillac was in the 1980s was like 10 grand.
90-day limited warranty, 1-year roadside assistance, remainder of the factory warranty.
So where is the savings using these car apps? I don't see any savings.
25 grand for this thing. I don't know if that's a good deal or a bad deal.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound if like it's fresh out of the factory. It sounds like there's definitely a middleman involved here.
This is a used car, 56,000 miles. Now, this is what I think is interesting, right? It's 2 years old.
Bloodsuckers.
2 years old with 56,000 miles.
No, yeah, I heard people have problems, Sid, with turbo engines. I don't trust them either. No, I want a new. If I'm going to go on an app like Carvana or Vroom,
what kind of car do you want, James?
I want a new Honda Accord 4-door with the basics, with the climate control, AC, some kind of stereo that you know is decent, and power windows, and you know.
Here we go. Here's a 2021. This is barely used.
Or you know, because until the electric cars are the same price as the gasoline cars, I mean, my first choice would be to get an electric car, but I'm not paying through the nose for a fucking electric car.
$39,000 for a 2021 Honda.
You know what I say? These apps are scams.
Ring the fucking bell on that.
They are the first inductees this week into the Chiselers Hall of Shame.
Now I got to tell you though, here I am making people at home sick.
How was that?
I was. You can go all the way around this thing. That's pretty cool, right? Look at that. The
Well,
car is.
yeah,
I
but
can zoom
over
in too.
30, you can't go wrong with a Honda Accord, but I'm not paying over 30 grand.
Look at this, James.
So
You can
these
look all the way around.
these retail middleman fucking
Does that have
Wall
enough?
Street bloodsuckers or whoever owns Vroom or Carvana,
Now,
screw
James,
that.
what if you saw some stains in that seatbelt? What's been going on in this back seat here, right?
You mean like white stains? Like
You might get the black light back there.
you mean the black light? Yeah, you mean like Monica Lewinsky's blue dress?
Oh my goodness, you got me rolling here. So this is the experience, right? So far, you're not even that impressed. I mean, this is fucking hell.
No, I know because my brain is clouded by the price.
I mean, you're sitting there and there's no haggling. This is the price, right? So maybe straight away.
I know what a new Honda Accord is like because my sister's driving one, and I enjoy the ride. I enjoy sitting in it and going for a ride with her in the car. It's a great car. It's probably the best all-around comfortable car in the world without getting into, you know, the prestigious luxury cars. I think it's great.
Absolutely.
I know Acura is made by Honda.
So let's take a look at some reviews on the experience here.
Oh, Mike, I sent you the link. What can I say? I heard you wanted to come aboard, but anyway, I hope you're having a pleasant Sunday. I don't know what happened to Eric Fraunfelter. He kept telling me on his own. I never asked him. He kept telling me, "I want to join. I want to join." You know, I don't say nothing to nobody no more because I feel like a begging brother. I feel like a fool. You know, sending people links. So Eric came to me and asked me, and lo and behold, he didn't show up.
Look at this, James.
What's that?
Better Business Bureau, 2,964 complaints.
Wow. You mean on top of the fact that they're paying a very high price for the car, over 2,000 complaints?
This is unbelievable.
They should be ashamed of themselves. Really.
So, so I'm sort of looking at, we're sorting by the most recent, right? The most recent complaint is about a month old, but there's 2,964 complaints. You know, and the one thing, and maybe I'll just kind of find a good one here. That somebody can read on here. I'll just leave it here, right? So the main thing that I've heard, the main issue with these car buying apps is lack of customer service agents. Just like everywhere else in the world, there's an extreme labor shortage. So if you have a
labor shortage, or they're turning a deaf ear to the customer.
Exactly.
Maybe they don't want to deal with complaints.
Exactly. So what's interesting about this company is that they advertise themselves about being the Amazon, if you will, of the car buying experience, right? You saw there, we could look at a car, we could look at all the pictures of the car, you know, we can do all these things, but you can't test drive it. And I think that's maybe why the brick and mortar, the traditional method of car buying is still so popular, is because people want to sit in the car, they want to see it, they want to smell it, they want to test drive it. They want to put their kid's car seat in the back to make sure that the car seat fits. They want to let the dog maybe in the back seat to see if there's room, see how big the trunk is, all this stuff, right?
Well, you can't bring a dog in the back seat of a brand new vehicle. They're not going to be crazy about that.
I've done it, and I've even told them, if my dog doesn't fit back here, then I'm not buying the car. And he's in my car with me. And the guy looked at me like, he's like, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah, if the dog doesn't like it back there, then I'm not buying it. He's like, all right, let's get the dog back there. You know, they'll do it. They did it. No problem. We didn't buy it. But
Well, the
you know.
dog doesn't. The dog's not going to tell you. The dog's just going to either stay there
Right.
or run out.
Yeah, exactly. But what I think about what's interesting about this, and kind of going back to the negativity on these sites, is that if you have a problem, there's nobody there to help you. You know, if you look at this right here, the person purchased the car on the website in September. He canceled the transaction. They accepted the cancellation, and they would refund the down payment. The guy put a $53,000 down payment. They refunded $49 deposit. They received the funds. He sent an email inquiring on the refund, no response. Called the phone number, no response. Emailed again, no response. Called twice for over 30 minutes. Told in process 7 to 10 days. Called again. Called on business day 11. Buyback, won't pick up the phone. Filed a complaint. So if you think about this guy has, look at that. That's $54,000.
Oh my God.
$54,000 that he's trying to get.
Wow.
He's trying to get as a refund, and the Better Business Bureau says closing the case.
And Mike,
Now
we got Michael Hilton from San Francisco. Hold on for a second. We got Michael Hilton from San Francisco, California. Welcome, Michael Hilton.
Hello, Michael.
Oh, he's
How you doing?
Hello,
Michael,
Thanks for the
Michael,
invite.
where are you?
What's going on?
all right. Yeah,
Where are you?
He's
Good,
exposing
good.
these.
Doing good. How about you?
Doing great.
Yes, Michael is like a phoenix rising from the ashes. He is a brand new Michael Hilton.
Let me stop sharing the screen so we can see what Michael is eating.
Oh, all right, okay.
Sunday brunch.
Bad
Sunday
internet.
brunch.
Might have to. We'll see what we can do here.
Are you in a hotel?
You're out and about. He's out and about.
Are you at a hotel?
Maybe the Wi-Fi is not so great there.
My face froze a while ago. I had to completely restart it.
Yeah, definitely hang on to that page because hey, what's going on here? I didn't do that.
Well,
Hey, what's going on here?
sorry, brother, bad Wi-Fi. He had to cut off.
That geek that owns the StreamYard, he's fucking with me just like Zuckerberg fucks with me.
I finally got the pork loin and baked potato plated up. You want to see it?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Oh, what happened? Michael.
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
BC.
Oh, look at that. Look at that, man.
It's stuffed, right, BC?
Huh?
Yeah, it's stuffed. Yeah, he's got his cornbread concoction with other things. He's got
Yep. So I got a pork loin stuffed with cornbread and mushrooms and onion, and a baked potato with just butter, garlic butter. So, yeah, this bad boy is good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What it looks like. Oh man, you guys do not know what you're missing here, man.
Well,
You
pork
know-
loin can be very succulent.
Yeah. I wish you guys were here, man. Really.
I wish I was there too, BC. Honestly, one
Yeah.
of these days.
Because it'd be
right?
like
One
a
of these
round
days.
table of us doing what we're doing just
Yeah.
in one spot.
Well, Jason's got a really interesting smoker grill. The green egg.
Egg cooker. Yeah.
The green egg. Yeah.
How is that,
Yeah.
BC? It looks fantastic. Now, BC, I got to ask you a question. This is dinner time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you Do you have any sort of midnight snack or any kind of bedtime snack, or is this it? Is this kind of last meal of the
leftover
day?
You know, I wouldn't say, well, it's a midnight snack in a way, so to say, but it's kind of like a dessert. Now, it depends. Sometimes it's like a portion of a chocolate bar, like say if you got a Hershey's chocolate bar, with almonds. Now I might break off like 3 or 4 pieces off of that, like say 2 or 3 hours from now, and have like a little something sweet, or like what is that? It's like gummy worms. They're like Sour Patch Kids, but they look like worms. The same thing. 2 or 3 hours from now, I'll probably eat maybe about a dozen of them worms, gummy worms, and that's it.
You didn't
So,
put gummy
other than
worms
that,
inside
I mean,
the
no.
pork roll, did you?
You know what's funny, right? You know, when you're a kid and you go fishing and stuff, you know, you put a worm on the hook and everything. You know, it didn't catch anything. I said, "F it, I'll put a gummy worm on the." And I actually caught a fish on a gummy worm, believe it or not.
Yeah, but did you know? Did you know that black rubber worms on a lead-headed jig is the best lure for bass fishing? People tell me it works wonders. Okay, Michael Hilton is in this establishment having Sunday brunch. And what exactly did you order, Michael Hilton?
Hey guys, sorry about that.
What?
Got some. First of all, good to hear from you, James, and everybody. Got some eggs Blackstone.
Eggs.
So then got that with some orange juice. There's orange juice.
What's the name of it? Blackstone, you said?
Eggs Blackstone.
Eggs what?
Comes with ketchup.
Never heard of it.
And it also comes with potatoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never heard of eggs
All right.
Blackstone.
So
It's
here's
like,
what we
is that
got.
like eggs Benedict?
Hold up.
Eggs
Well, this comes with
Benedict.
tomatoes, though. This comes with tomatoes on
Oh, okay.
it.
Table for two, Michael,
All right.
or
It can be, but Michael's not going to be hitting on. Oh, what happened? As every time Michael has Wi-Fi problems, I come up full screen. I wonder why. I wonder why. Eggs Blastone or Gaston, or you pencil neck geek that owns StreamYard. I saw you. You're a geek. Strangle you, man. You and Zuckerberg.
the question was table for two.
Table for two. Yeah, and I was saying that Michael is not going to be going around hitting on nobody, asking them to join him. They're going to have to join him on their own.
How about this, James, and the sharing of the screen here?
Yeah, okay. Tesla is giving cover to the Chinese government by doing business in Xinjiang.
Yeah,
You know what?
Tesla's decision to open a showroom in China is adding growing criticism of the company's actions. He gives cover to the Chinese government. When a company decides to place its enterprise in the middle of this setting of genocide and slavery, it is doing something very unethical.
I knew I was right about these corporate CEOs. The Bible says he
You're a
that
good guy
makes
too, Michael.
yes. He that makes haste to be rich shall not be innocent. I'll be right back.
Slavery of some million individuals. Well, while James left and while BC is eating, this might not be a bad time to maybe get something else to drink. So I might, I'll be back in a flash, BC. All right.
All right.
Oh, Mary.
I'm here. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I know. Ronnie Simpson was defending Elon Musk, saying nice things about him and all these multi-billionaires, including Joe Osteen. But I knew that these corporate CEOs that are multi-billionaires are not to be trusted. They will expose themselves eventually. They will. They always will. Oh.
So how's the weather, BC? You get any more snow?
We get some snow. We get about 1.5 inches out here. And
Did it freeze?
that's the weirdest thing. It started overnight. It got up to about 37. Now it's about 19.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. I knew he would expose himself eventually. I knew it.
Who?
CEOs like Elon Musk.
Oh, yes. How about this? Senator
Bailout.
asks airlines about worker shortages after billions in bailouts.
See?
This is a senator from my state, Maria Cantwell, Washington State. Now,
And he won't believe it. When I try to tell Ronnie Simpson these things, he doesn't believe it. He always defends the corporate machine. Always, he doesn't believe that they get these handouts and they don't trickle down. There is no trickle down economics.
now I think this is actually an interesting topic because they gave them 54 billion
Wow.
to the airlines, as well as 25 billion in low-cost government loans. So this is free money.
Yeah.
This is free. Now, this is back to what you were saying, James. Imagine if you just said, I want 54 billion. Yeah, here you go. Boom, done. I mean, think about this. Think about this for a minute.
Incredible.
54 billion for free. Basically, that's just free money, right?
Right.
Plus 25 billion in low-cost government loans.
It's really despicable that you know what? It's expected. All the massive campaign contributions they give as a big payoff, a big bribe, and these are part of the favors that they get in return.
This is unbelievable. I pulled up some more articles for us to.
Corruption is it's the system is extremely corrupt. But
the CEO of American Airlines earned $12 million, but yet he needs $54 billion in tax bailout money.
Right, but Republicans in Washington, they complain about the little guy getting a stimulus check.
Yeah.
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 While the corporations get all this free money.
Yeah. Well, James, we're about approaching hour 3. I might stop sharing there because I do want to save some of this content for when we have more time.
Yeah. Well, we will have more time for this content because, you know, I'll tell you off the air, but we're just, you know, I just want to keep it with you, BC, myself, Eric, if he chooses to really come on and not change his mind.
Eric was on Western Mike's channel last night asking him, it felt like 20 questions, spaghetti or ramen, all these sort of questions.
Yeah. You know, I tell you one thing, if he wants to talk to me on Facebook Messenger by way of video, I'm not gonna answer it. I'm not gonna talk to him. No, because he's full of shit. You know, what is it? Yeah, how dare the government help people? Right. Meanwhile, they help the fat cats, the top 1%. You're right. Yeah, the eggs Benedict or eggs Mabogo, Ungawa, whatever that was. The highest grade. Highest grade for me is high school, and I went to technical school twice, and third time I passed the certified personal trainer and nutritional consultant diplomas. You know,
I think he was saying highest grade, not asking what the highest grade we attended. He was saying that the breakfast that he had was of the highest grade.
Graded the food.
Grading the food, yes.
Oh, what does that mean? 90% out of 100?
90%, 9 out of 10, 90%.
So that'd be 90%.
That'd be 90%.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So James, the family's home. I'm being called into the kitchen. So
you're gonna have dinner.
I'm gonna have to bid you farewell.
Well, I'm gonna wrap up the show. You know, it was pretty interesting. It was great having Ronald Terrio on, and Michael Hilton. And if Michael Hilton, if he leaves the restaurant and he's going home real soon, and he wants to talk about some deep social issues like, you know, dating and things like that, and relationships, and about his struggle.
Yeah, I would be willing. I really hope, and I'm.
Yeah, I'll be glad to stay on the air. I don't know how far.
Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know
how far he is from home, or I don't know if he's going somewhere else. But I you know, if he wants, I can hang tight until he gets home.
Okay.
But anyway, Jason.
Yeah, I have to bid you farewell. It was fantastic, BC.
I'm at tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But BC, take care, brother. Happy New Year. It's great to have the first show of the year for me. That food looked amazing. I love that Michigan.
Well, I'm glad you're back, Jason, man.
That Michigan hat. I missed you too. And have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a great week.
Are you okay for next Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, I'll see.
Yes.
Well, but of course I'll see you on WhatsApp.
I'm free too, man.
No, be well, folks. Well, everyone in the chat, everyone watching, thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Okay.
The fruit of his loins. He prepared the fruit of his loins.
Oh, I might just do this here. I'll plug this book. I know you guys don't read. Reading is kind of outdated, it seems, but this is a fantastic book. I highly recommend it.
Oh, look at that. Is that does that promote minimalism too?
Can I have some gummies?
Yes, it does.
I like minimalism.
Yeah, I got my little daughter here talking about gummies. So yeah, maybe we'll get into this one here next week.
Hey, where is she?
Jenny, come here. Jenny,
Hey,
Jenny, come here.
where are you? Where are you?
She's
You
coming.
little
Come here.
you little whippersnapper. Where are
Come
you?
here. Look. Come here.
Hey, come over here. Hello there. You little
Say hi.
whippersnapper.
She's eating a gummy.
Is this the sound you made when you were younger? Oh, you're leaving.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. I gotta
All right,
run.
I'll see you.
Have a great day. Thanks again.
You too. Oh yeah, so the pork loin was a great success, but then again, you have a lot of experience with the pork loin.
Yeah, that and ribs. Yeah,
And last week was the beef ribs, and then of course pork ribs. You have a great success with.
yep.
Chicken. Chicken is like a basic barbecue meat, you know.
Yeah, like that first episode where I did the barbecue chicken, or the
Yeah.
not the barbecue chicken. Well, it was barbecue chicken, but it was beer can barbecue chicken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you had that. The turkey breast with bone was a success too.
yeah, and what was that? The hamburger bombs I had. What was it that I had? The burger bombs or whatever. With
Oh
the
yeah.
jalapenos in 'em?
Was the burger with there was something wrapped around
Yeah,
it?
the bacon wrapped around it. Yeah, and they were
Bacon
round with the jalapenos in them.
Right, and you did a special meatloaf that had bacon, right?
Yeah, the
Wrapped
meatloaf
around.
that was bacon wrapped. Yeah.
That was another blockbuster. Now Bart Robinson, for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I forgot. He had two turkeys, one smoked, well, that he smoked or somebody else smoked, and then one deep fried Louisiana style.
Oh wow.
So you can imagine how great they were. Now,
Yeah.
since you were so successful with the turkey breast with the bone in it, now you can probably do a whole mess of parts, turkey parts.
Yeah.
You know, and when you smoke the meat for like many hours, like it takes to really smoke meat the right way, you need at least 10 hours minimum. So, you know, the food won't go to waste. So the leftovers from smoked meat can easily last in the refrigerator for a while. You know. So you nothing's gonna go bad. You know, so I don't know. So Mike, are you going to be at that restaurant for a while, or are you going to go home soon, so I can decide if I should wrap it up, or perhaps maybe you might go live from your house, and I'll catch you on the phone. I'll use my Android phone if you're going to go live tonight. You know, just give me a hint on what you're going to do. What you're going to do when they come for you, bad boys, bad boys. What you going to do?
What you gonna do?
Because I have no problem with my Android phone going on StreamYard, but I had a lot of problem when I had an iPhone. A lot of problem because iPhone for StreamYard, they forced me to use Safari as a browser, and it is not compatible with StreamYard.
No.
Safari with iPhone does not work. I got some at Seatown. They have a lot of Latin food, and I got this corn flour, this pre-cooked corn flour, which is like hominy grits or polenta. It's pre-steamed and then dried out and ground into a flour. And what you do is you make these these corn cakes for frying, called arepas, which were originally made by South American Indians, and the Colombians and other present day South American countries still make it. And they often put cheese inside of it or on top of it. And they're really good. And usually they make them for breakfast, and they use it like a bread. But it's really tasty. And I've been making that. Not expensive at all. And then I got this ground beef that I told you about off the air, but a $2.59 a pound. It's fresh, high quality ground beef. Hardly any fat comes out of it. And I made, let's see what I make. For each package, they were family packs. So I think I made like 4 to 5 8-ounce burger patties, and I wrapped each burger in butcher paper.
Yeah.
The white paper, and then I put it in a Ziploc, because you can't put burgers, you can't put raw meat, let's put it this way, in general, together up against each other and freeze it, because it'll freeze into one solid block.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So you need like parchment paper or something to keep them separated. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I get rolls of parchment paper from the dollar store, and I'll wrap. Actually, I did it today. I got a big package of split chicken breasts in the bone, and I wrapped each one in parchment paper, put it right in a Ziploc, and now it's easy. You take it out, unravel it, and you're ready. You know, and you do the same thing with sausages if you want. Raw sausage. Now, if it's smoked sausage, you don't have to wrap it in parchment paper, because they really kind of separate, because they're pre-cooked.
Yeah, they got that casing on them too. So
Right.
if we're talking about the links, yeah.
Yeah. Any kind of links, like smoked. Like I used to love the smoked applewood. It's called applewood smoked sausage from this smokehouse in New Hampshire. I think it was called Northern Country Smokehouse, something like that. And the pork had hardly any fat, no gristle, no bone fragments to chip your tooth. All good stuff. And you can just throw them in a 1 gallon Ziploc. You don't have to wrap them, because they're already pre-smoked.
Yeah.
I know all these. I used to get the box of pre-cooked smoked bacon that is pre-cooked and packaged in a box, and all you do is heat it up. I mean, my favorite really is that, like the smoked slab bacon, the thick slices.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, where you get it out of the freezer case, yeah, or the refrigerator case, yeah.
Refrigerator case, yeah, and that is good for wrapping.
Yeah, that's where I get my bacon from too, is the refrigerator case, yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
if you want,
I tell you one thing. When I did that meatloaf with the bacon around a bit, you know, that is past Christmas. It just came and went, but the Christmas before 2020, for some reason my niece called me, and it was like, okay, she's such a sweetheart, and she's telling me that she's calling me at like 10 a.m. and this is Christmas Day of 2020. She's telling me what she had for breakfast. She had eggs, she had bacon, she had biscuits, she had this, she had that.
You're
And
tired.
it's like, you know what? That's an awesome breakfast they have on Christmas Day. Hey, I get that my sister wants to have like a big family Christmas breakfast on Christmas Day and having it as a family tradition. Great, awesome. Do that, man. I mean, what I do for like, well, Christmas Eve. Okay, I got my thing with the fire pit, drinking white day dog, having a fire pit, listening to Christmas music out there. That's my Christmas Eve thing. Now, Christmas Day, I'll have like a big breakfast or a good breakfast, depending on your viewpoint. Be hash browns, eggs, sausage, a cup of coffee. That's fine for me. But if you're having like 2 kids, a husband, or a wife, depending on your situation, having this big breakfast that my sister's daughter was talking about, they started talking about bacon. I was like, you know what? She's talking about how much she loves bacon. I was like, you know what? I love bacon too. You know how much I love bacon. And I ain't faking when it comes to the bacon. And
I don't want no faking bacon. I don't want no turkey bacon or any of that. I want real from a pig.
yeah.
Pork belly.
And yeah, I ended up rewatching that Fandango Friday with you and Ron. And you cracked me up when you said you could eat everything from the pig but the oink. And it's like, I started dying when I heard that. I was like, yeah, you know what? He's right about that. You can eat everything but the oink from a pig.
Well, it's true.
Like,
it's true.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's why I was dying. And it was
nothing goes to waste on a pig.
No. But I was telling my niece, I was like, you know what? I love bacon. Oh, I love it so much. I have to make bacon at work, and you know what? I'm taking a couple of strips of bacon and eating it while after it comes out of the oven. Oh, it's so good. It's like I started telling her about the meatloaf wrap, the bacon wrap meatloaf that I make. I was like, you know what? When you make that bacon wrap meatloaf and you start slicing into it, and you hear that crunch from the bacon as you're cutting off the slices of the meatloaf, oh, it's so good. And what got me is my niece told me she's never had meatloaf in her life. I was like, what? You've never had meatloaf? I was like, no, I've never had meatloaf. Well, hopefully, Mama will make meatloaf for you one day. I hope she does, because meatloaf is so good.
Well, my friend, instead of using breadcrumbs, which is white bread, he used oatmeal flakes. And, she put the raw egg and the seasoning and everything in the oatmeal flakes and, let it sit. You can let it sit overnight if you want it, but, let it get real moist with all the chopped onions and everything that you put in a meatloaf normally. And then mix it with the ground beef. And they said it was outstanding instead of using breadcrumbs. Now, you might have to use toothpicks, people out there, if you might, depending on what you're wrapping the bacon around.
Yeah. But sometimes if you get the weight of the meatloaf, all you have to do is wrap that bacon underneath the meatloaf, and the weight will hold that bacon underneath. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the ground beef, it's soft when it's raw. So the bacon, the bacon strip, it will sink right in there. Jordy!
Hey, Jordy!
How are you doing, James? How are you doing, Chris?
How's everything, man?
Doing all right. I was wondering when you were going to show up.
Yeah, I tried
to. Kind of late over here, man. Yeah, I know it's late over there, but still.
James, I seen your link. I pressed your link on Messenger on my phone when I was actually on my way to the shop. I was actually wanting to join the stream and show you guys me walking about the shop, but I couldn't access it on my phone, and I don't understand how.
You have do you have an iPhone or an Android?
Yes, this is an Android. Samsung S20.
Really? And you couldn't.
Yeah, I've got an Android as well.
But
you gotta use Google.
The camera's got a click on it.
Yeah, you got to use Google as a browser to access StreamYard.
This is what happened. I'll show you. So I clicked on the link right here, and then comes up with this stuff.
I'll be right back.
Okay, there's you got to use the browser when you open it. It's got to be Google.
Yeah, Google Chrome. That's
Google
what happened.
Chrome, right?
Yeah.
And you
I don't know
couldn't.
what happened.
That's
And maybe that is strange. But how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing good, James.
good. I'm getting hungry with all this. I saw BC's pork loin off the smoker grill, and it was a long show. We had a big panel of people, and we had some political debating going back and forth, but it was a good show. Michael was on. Michael Hilton was on, but the Wi-Fi at the place he was eating at was not good. So he came a few times in spurts. And Eric was supposed to be on. He told me last night.
Oh yeah, Eric. Yeah.
I didn't mention. I didn't ask him. He told me he wanted to be on. So I sent him the link before I went live, and he never showed up. But we had Ronnie Simpson, who was very tried to dominate the show as he usually does. And then we had, of course, Jason Cleveland, and he's back in BC, and myself. Oh, Ronald Theriot came on the show too.
Oh wow, really? Tonight? Awesome.
Yeah, but he had to leave to go watch the football game, but he was on for a decent amount of time, and he exposed some things that we weren't aware of with
right.
Abraham Lincoln and some things that the history books don't tell you. Because he was a history teacher.
Yeah. Ronnie's retired. I think retired teacher.
It was a good show. We showed the Better Business Bureau complaints of these apps they have now for buying cars. They have these apps that make people think that they're going to save a lot of money by not going to a dealer. Well, guess what? These apps, they're crooks. They're crooks, man. And there was no customer service. If you had a problem, they avoided talking to you. And the prices were high. They're just as bad as the dealers. So nothing.
Don't trust that.
Yeah, nothing in capitalism has integrity. They all screw you eventually. But so how's the kid? Who's that? Your cousin or your brother or your son?
Oh, that's my wee brother. That's why I didn't come on earlier as well.
That's your little brother, Haggis, little Haggis.
Little Haggis head.
Braveheart. What's his name? Braveheart? Bravery?
Braveheart. No, Braden.
Oh, Braven.
He's got a brave heart. He's 9 years old, and I am 26. So there's a massive age gap,
Wait, how old is he? Is Braven again?
He's 9. He's
9 years.
Yeah.
He's the porridge guy, kid with the kilt. The porridge. Yeah, he was
porridge.
He was
porridge.
I picked up this organic, non-GMO sprouted steel cut oatmeal. Sprouted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really. I had some yesterday. It's really good. Organic, sprouted. Because once you sprout something, the nutritional value skyrockets.
Have you got any cinnamon? Put some cinnamon in there.
I put cinnamon. I put the brown sugar from the pure sugar cane juice. They dry it.
Oh yeah.
I put little sea salt. I put what else? I put fruit. I put guava, tropical guava paste from guava fruit.
That's nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I have different types of different fruits that I use. Sometimes I'll use Chinese goji berries. Sometimes I'll do cranberries. You know, I got a lot of fresh cranberries in the freezer. You know, because the season is short. Once the season is over, you got to wait till next October. So
James, have you ever made celery soup? Celery soup? Like just straight up soup made with celery. Like cream of celery soup.
Cream of celery? I've had cream of broccoli. I've had cream of mushroom.
Yeah.
I've never had, I have creamed clam chowder, you know, lobster bisque. Things like that. Cream of asparagus. I had that one time. Never had cream of celery.
I've had all of those. The ones that you mentioned there.
Cream of mushroom is pretty tasty. Cream of
Oh, yeah.
mushroom.
Now, you know, cream of mushroom is by itself. I don't like it. But now, here's the thing. Now, if you throw it in, say, beef stroganoff, then I like it. I don't mind it. But just cream of
beef
mushroom
stroganoff.
soup by itself, I don't mind it. I don't like it.
You know what my mother used to do with the pot roast? If she would make it inside and you know and steamed in the pot, she would take the drippings from the pot roast and mix it either with the dried onion soup mix or cream of mushroom, and she would stir the drippings and mix it with pour the cream of mushroom in there and stir, mix it with the beef drippings.
Yeah, kind of like a gravy, right?
Yeah, she would make like a really tasty gravy, and
Yeah. Now, I remember one time, okay, I don't know how to put this, so I'm just going to say it. So if it comes out wrong, sorry. Now, I'm not generally a big roux fan. Now, for them guys that know what roux is, I'm assuming you guys know what a roux is. It's like, okay, for example.
A roux is a form of gravy, right? It's a type of gravy with flour. I think it's flour.
Yeah, well, okay, like say for example, one type of roux is like if you cook sausage patties in your frying pan, okay, for breakfast, and you make a bunch of and then you got a bunch of that stuff at the bottom from the sausage, and then you got the grease from the sausage in that pan.
Right.
What you do is you throw in some flour, maybe a little bit of water or milk, preferably milk, and you kind of mix that up, and you get like a sausage gravy out of that pan.
Oh,
Get all that stuff up from the bottom.
yeah, that's tasty. That's tasty as hell.
Yeah, and that's a roux. That's a roux right there. Now, I'm not saying I'm absolutely in love with all roux gravies, but that I like. Okay, the sausage gravy roux. And my sister, she knows I cook. I love to cook, and she had us over for breakfast one week. And she asked me about my opinions. Was like, "What is this? What do you think about this?" I was like, "It's great. I mean, it's not bad." And it was like, "Oh, you hate it." I didn't say I hated it. I was just said I've never been a real big fan of roux.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
sausage gravy, I am.
You know the best roux of all is the Chinese actress Lucy Roux.
Lucy Roux.
Lucy Roux or
Lucy Roux.
what was that?
Well,
Chinese angels.
I was trying to say Lucy Liu in a Chinese accent.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Whoa. Lucy Roux.
Lucy Liu. What'd you say?
I don't know if you guys
Pussy?
ever watched that. Oh, nice.
Oh, James.
But Match Game.
Oh, I remember Match Game. Oh, Brooklyn Lager. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's from Brooklyn, New York. I've had it.
Yeah, it's imported. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, no, it's actually not
It's the
bad.
most wonderful time for a beer.
It's what do you call it? It's a micro brew. It's a craft. It's a craft.
Yeah, it's a craft beer. It's 5.2. 5.2.
Yeah, so it's something you can have often. Yeah, lager. It's a decent lager.
I think I should fill this up a bit more.
It's a
That
nice
one can only filled up half the glass.
Let's say Wonder Bread. That like
A Brooklyn Lager with my American buddy a Brooklyn Lager with my American buddies.
yeah, no, they have a good product line. BC, the brewery by BC in Michigan, I'm very impressed with their product line. Bell's Brewery.
Oh, Bills.
Yeah,
They do whiskey, don't
really, they have a really nice product line, and I think also Genesee from Rochester, New York, has a Scottish ale.
Yeah.
They make a Scottish style ale.
I've had beers from Genesee before. Yeah.
Genesee Cream Ale is their most famous. Very cheap here. Very
Cheers,
like,
James.
cheers to you. Like $4.50 for six bottles of Genesee Cream Ale. It's very inexpensive.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, I was telling him about Bell's Brewery. They have a great product line.
Yeah, down your end, BC.
Yeah, they do. And I know, like, the videos I got posted on my channel are about somewhere between a third and half of them are Bell's beers. So it shows that it's quite a lot. I've got about 220 episodes on my channel, so that's about 100 beers right there.
That's actually 100 more than me because I've done 312, I think. Something like that. So nice. I'm going to check out a lot of your beer reviews, BC. I've not done that yet, but I'm going to. What you got there?
Was that a beer review?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just drank my last Samuel Smith oatmeal stout early, my last bottle. I had it earlier on the show.
How was it?
Oh,
Was it good?
It's good. It's
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It's a stout, but it's 5%, a little over 5% alcohol, which I thought it would be like 9%.
Well, they vary because you get some of them that are like between 5 and 8%, and then you get the bourbon aged barrel beers that are like 10% and up. And
I mean, for an
I was on
English,
Stout Sunday this morning, and the one I had was 13.6. That was a bourbon aged barrel beer by Bell's Beers. Their expedition stuff, so good.
BC, you had this one? Brooklyn Lager? Brooklyn Lager.
No, never had it. Never had it.
They do a variety of different beers. They do a summer ale, which was
do
good.
they? Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
I'll be
Oh,
like
James got his cock out again, man.
my cock. Yeah, I'll be. Yeah, look at the chest on that rooster. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to show my cock off. Fuck's sake, James. Wow. What's going on with the comments? Yo, what's up, Western Mike? Yo, what's up, Bart Robertson? Yo, what's up, Vincent Smoke? So how are you doing, BC? Cheers to you, brother.
Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day today. I mean, granted, it is my day off. But hey, nothing wrong with having a couple of beers, barbecue, and some banter today, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah, you got some pork loins on the grill, eh?
Oh, yeah. Man, you should have seen that pork loin.
Oh, let's see it, man. I've not actually seen them yet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's see.
Here, I'll give you a quick look at what's left of that pork loin. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man, it's so good. Now, I don't know how, like, with your country and how, like, what the temperature, the internal temperature you got to cook it to in your country, but it used to be 165 here for us, and they dropped it down to 145, but I generally cook mine to about 150 internally. This is what it looks like.
Oh wow, man! Damn, that looks delicious. Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah! Mm.
So, tell you one thing, that pork
And-
loin is juicy as hell.
Mm. Damn, you're making me hungry. That was tasty, dude.
I know it's one of them. I know it's a dream. You know, it'd be nice to kind of get us beer reviewers together, or guys that hang out on lives together,
Hell yeah,
all
man!
in one spot, and you know,
That's awesome.
have somebody do like a couple of people do like a main course, like a beef loin and I don't know, ribs or something. And
Baby
then
back
somebody
ribs.
have a few people do
Yeah,
some side dishes. Well, rocket. Then we all just kind of hang out, chit chat, bullshit, whatnot, and drink. Talking about our beers, where our stuff's cooking, man. Oh man, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah, that's what's
Do
up,
that
man.
like once a year in August. Because you
The
ain't
beer
got nothing going on in August, man. There ain't no holidays, or at least here in America, there ain't no holidays in August. So that'd be a good idea. But yeah, I don't think everybody would be able to get like a certain spot for this. So it'd be a nice idea, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the beer community was the best and the coolest community. I mean, I've met so many friends, you included, man. You're awesome. James as well. Like, honestly, I appreciate everyone, and I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Thank you, James, for allowing me on your stream as well. My stupid drunken Scottish ass.
I like having you on. You know, you're a nice guy. You all seem to be very nice people. Your family, your father, yourself. You know, so you know, I appreciate having the fellowship, international fellowship with people from far away.
Pardon.
You know, so but you know, you're always pleasant. You don't when you drink, you don't try to start fights like some people do.
Oh no,
Yeah, same
no,
here.
I ain't like that.
Yeah,
The
you're
most
always,
thing I do is I make an ass of myself when I'm drunk. That's it.
well, you're a happy
Yeah.
drunk. Yeah, yeah. But I know people that try to instigate trouble when they drink.
Oh yeah, I know people like that too.
Yeah, but not everybody, but some do, and they're very bad drunks. And oh, Bart Robinson sends his greeting to Jordy.
Hey Bart, cheers, buddy.
Bart Robinson is from southwestern New Jersey, not far from Philadelphia. He's in
Cheers to New Jersey from Glasgow, my friend.
he's in rural southern New Jersey.
Cheers to New Jersey, Bart. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you have a good night. Peace, love.
Now, I have a question for Bart. Being that goat's milk and goat's cheese tastes so damn good,
Yeah,
and even people with lactose intolerance can have goat's milk and goat's cheese with no problem, or goat's yogurt. How come we don't see more goat dairy? Like the only goat dairy farm I ever heard of was in California. I think it was called Meyenberg Farm. How come we don't see goat dairy farms in the Northeast?
Do you eat blue Stilton?
I love Stilton. It's like blue cheese.
Yeah, blue cheese. I love that stuff, but I can't have it around the house because my mum hates the smell of it. But I love this
blue
stuff.
cheese.
Well, there's a French cheese that's supposed to be even stinkier than Limburger, German Limburger. You know, but, no,
You know,
Stilton's.
have you guys ever had Limburg cheese?
I have.
I haven't.
From Germany, imported. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
they
Now-
threw me out of the house. my grandmother or mother says, "Get that shit out of the house. It smells like dirty baby diapers."
Yeah. I was about to say, now,
That's
I
my
don't know
mum,
about
like.
that French cheese you're talking about. That's worse than Lindbergh. But I've
Yeah,
had Lindbergh cheese before. Now, the smell, once you get past the smell, you still got to deal with that taste if you're eating that cheese. Now, yeah.
Well, it must be good on crackers here. You know, speaking of blue cheese in Stilton, you know, my favorite salad dressing is chunky blue cheese.
Yeah,
I
same
don't
here.
care what kind of blue cheese. I don't care if it's Stilton, French, Gorgonzola, doesn't matter. It's my favorite salad dressing. And also I had an 8-ounce bacon cheeseburger with uh, blue cheese, melted blue cheese on it instead of
Oh,
Swiss.
nice.
Man, it was tasty as hell. It was tasty as hell.
That does sound nice.
Yeah.
See if you're making broccoli and cauliflower soup, put some blue Stilton in there. It makes it so nice, honestly.
Broccoli and cauliflower in what?
Broccoli and cauliflower soup, and add
Soup.
some blue Stilton in the soup. Like get a good block of blue Stilton, add it to broccoli and cauliflower soup.
Oh, you mean like if you're going to steam vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and you put the Stilton on top
Yeah,
and just let it melt?
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That must be really good.
Mm.
Yeah, that must be really good. I have this big stir fry pan from China, this wok, the big one though, with a wooden handle. And let me tell you, it's very multi-purpose. I've done so many things with it, but I do want to say I'm happy. My sister is really thrilled with the stovetop grill that I got her for Christmas. I got her a stovetop grill that works on a gas stove, and I told her how great they are. And you don't even have to put up the heat up high with a stovetop grill.
Yeah.
Just put it on low. Yeah. And
Sounds like an air fryer. Air fryer.
Air fryers. Well, she has an air fryer too, but you know, when they first came out, they're small, so you can only do like French fried potatoes. You can do Cornish hens.
Mm.
You can do
Sweet potato fries.
yeah. You can't like if I mean you could fit chicken parts in there. It's big enough for that.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, you can't put anything sizable in it. But now they're bigger. Now they're starting to make them bigger. The hot air fryers. Yeah, they're good. Oh man. Yeah, I might just make myself one of those 8-ounce hamburgers. I'll take the patty out of the freezer. I got russet potatoes. I'll boil a large russet, and too bad I don't have sour cream. But I guess I'll use olive oil and what else can I use?
I ended up getting a bag of potatoes and I forgot to pick up
garlic spray.
last time I was in the store.
Like garlic. You get this can of garlic oil.
Yeah, I have the garlic powder. I have the Himalayan pink salt. I have shredded cheese for melting. I have I can
You're a
make
good chef,
tacos.
James.
Yeah, I can make tacos and because I have the corn.
Garlic
I have the corn
tacos.
tortillas and I even have the gorditas. You know, the thick tortillas.
I have all the stuff downstairs from old El Paso or something like that. I got jalapeno. I got green jalapenos, red jalapenos.
Oh, is
I
that
got
the
5
company?
red hot sauce as well.
That's the company. That's the only company you can find that's Mexican. Old El Paso.
Yeah.
Ugh.
In supermarkets anyway. But if I
Yeah,
go
well,
to the West End, I might be
we
able to
call
find them.
that cheap crap. It's like going to Taco Bell.
Is it? Is it bad then? The farm up from the road from me has goats. My local shop.
Oh yeah, goat everything is expensive. Probably because there's not a lot of goat dairies to go in the United States. There really is not
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
much.
but you know where you go to get goat cheese though? All these they got cheap.
Yeah, I know, but pricey.
Yeah, it's still it's still kind of pricey, but it's cheaper than getting it from like say
They call
Kroger's
it
or Meijer's
chevre,
or something.
chevre, or chevra, chev. Yeah, it's goat. It's
Yeah,
really good. Goat's milk is really, really good, and goat's cheese is even better. I wonder if the dairy union is responsible for people not goat farming. I don't know. I know the best goats for dairy are these really big white ones from France. They're white and they're big, and they got these real big udders. Yeah, that's.
What that last one say? That last better? What they say?
Oh, and he says there's a farm up the road from him has goats, and his local ShopRite sells goat's milk, but it's quite expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, even at Aldi's, it's pricey.
Yeah.
Your cat came to say hello. But yeah, I'm getting hungry, man. On the other hand, I've eaten goat cooked for. I've had goat many times. Chivo in Spanish. They call it chivo. I have a fancy restaurant in Philly. Several different parts. Curry goat. I had curry goat many times. No goat. Well, it's bony red meat, but it's good. Actually, before the pandemic, when I used to go to this Indian restaurant around the block for a lunch buffet, they had a really nice lunch buffet, and for $10, it was pretty good. They had curry goat in the lunch buffet, and what I would do is I would get a bed. I would scoop a bed of basmati rice on my plate, and I would pour the curry goat meat with the gravy right on top of the basmati rice. Ugh, was that tasty as hell, BC?
Yeah. Sounds
The
like
curry goat meat had the spicy curry was in the
Hey,
gravy.
all I gotta say is one of two things. Well, I'll say it both. I'll say it. It's kind of hard for us to get around because we ain't got a car right now. Yeah, but what I am
Well,
getting at is if you ever come my way, man, hey, let me know, man. Got extra room here in the house, man, so you got a place to stay.
oh,
And
thank you.
and
Because
got a couple of places to go to eat, man. I don't a couple of places that are pretty top notch around here, so
well, yeah,
pretty
well,
good.
we could go live, and when we eat that Detroit style pizza, I can prop up the phone and we can go
Yeah,
live.
and and there's a thing I don't know about where you're at, but there's a thing here in Detroit. I'm talking downtown Detroit, and we got two Coney Islands where they're side by side, and it's American Coney Island and Lafayette Coney Island. Now, there's been like debates about like Lafayette's better or American's better or this, that, and the third. Now,
What a hot
we
dog.
could probably go live and have a couple of Coney's at one Coney Island, and then the next day come back, go to the other one next door, and then go live again about that Coney Island, and then say, okay, well, this one's like this, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then the next day say, yeah, this one's like this, and so on and so forth, and then decide which one's better.
Well, I used to go live I mean, I used to record every time I went to the buffet. Every Friday, I used to go to the Royal Hibachi Buffet for lunch, and it
Yeah, I
was
remember
like,
that. Yeah.
you remember that? Yeah, I used to do a play-by-play, and man, those were the days before the pandemic. I mean, it's cheaper to get fish out of a buffet than it is to go to a seafood restaurant. I will say that.
Yeah.
I will say that, but now I'm really reluctant to do it because you go to a place like that, you got the long serving spoons, right? The steel spoons, right? Everybody touches the handle, and a lot of those people, when they go to the men's room, a lot of especially
They don't wash their hands.
yeah, like a lot of Middle Eastern people are going here because the owner is Turkish, and they go in the men's room and they do their thing and they wash their hands like this. They turn on the water and they're like 2 seconds, and they're walking out. I go, what the fuck? I go, I'm very meticulous, but
Yeah, I'm not saying like I'm a doctor or a surgeon, like how they've got to really deep clean their hands. Now, I'll maybe 10, 20 seconds, I'll wash my hands and, good, but don't expect me to be like a surgeon or a doctor when it comes to washing my hands, because they're going to take a long time. Because if they've got to do surgery, they're going to be doing a deep clean because they don't want to infect the
I go like
anything.
this. I kick up suds. I go like this, and then I go in between my fingers like that, and then rinse off. I mean, what else can you do?
The only thing that you do beyond that is get what is that I don't know what it's called, but it's like alcohol based, where it like kills all the germs. Where it's like wet daps. You know what a wet dap is, right?
Don't they wear gloves when they do surgery? But now they don't even touch. Now they have robotics. The doctor was telling me they got robotics.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, the doctors
operating. As long as that robotic instrument is sterile, hey, they're good.
And as long as the robotic doesn't have a mind of its own and fucks you up.
Get that Terminator
Takes over the
thing
world.
going on, yeah.
Disco, Roboto, remember that song?
Como arigato, Mr. Roboto Tamago. I know that song.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Mr. Roboto from a band called Styx, STYX, in the 80s.
Oh,
I'm a
Styx
big
did
80s
that?
fan.
Oh, I didn't know Styx did that.
Another one I like is that Wall of Voodoo. I'm on a Mexican
Oh,
radio.
Wall of Voodoo? You know Wall of Voodoo, Chris? The lead singer from that band is called Stan Ridgway, and I'm a big, massive fan of him, man. Like, I love Stan Ridgway.
Well, you know that song, I'm on a Mexican radio, is about Wolfman Jack. You know that, right?
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's calling you, Jordy. With your dad?
Stan Ridgway.
Ridgway.
That's the guy. That's the lead singer from Wall of Voodoo.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to end the show because I'm getting mighty hungry, and I think it's time for me to partake in a little gastronomy. But we've been on 3 hours, almost 3 hours and 40. Let me say goodbye. Jordy, I'm gonna wrap it up, Jordy.
Well, wrap her up. We're gonna take care.
I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm hungry and I've been on for a long time.
Thank you for having me, James.
All right, peace out, guys. Good seeing everybody.
Same here. Come a bit earlier next time. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, well, take care, guys.
Have a
Peace
good
out.
week.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Bart Robinson, Michael Hilton, Jason Cleveland, everyone. PC, Jordy, everyone. Enjoyed the decline. Who else? Sid, Craig Svensson, Sid. Thank you, everybody.